This is quality content. Dude is my age. Marcus is my age, and he's got like 50 years of fucking experience.
Because both the fuck out of her channel.
Louis Armstrong was the midwife that helped birth ska from the cloaca of punk.
You guys heard it here first at LTN Media. There's packs of wild stray dogs that control most of the major cities. Anytime you just hear, almost the lava, lava. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
What's going on, guys? I'm Dave. Welcome to Less Than Normal. Reminding you that if it's 4 inches or bigger, it's meant to take off-road. Chris?
Yeah, I don't really know how to follow that one up. Anywho, hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Less Than Normal. I am Chris. Joined with me, as always, is Bree and Dave. Dude, I almost forgot how to do my intro, and I've been doing the same one for fucking 3 years.
So the benefit of my part of the intro is I just say whatever the fuck comes into my head. Doesn't always land, but it's usually pretty all right.
You say some crazy shit at some points, though. Like, I don't know, man.
I
I've
feel like
heard you say some wild
scruffy
stuff.
pirate today.
So, to start the show, Dave, I got something the other day that I feel like you would find really friggin' cool. We're gonna open
very
this,
nice.
and to reveal, yeah, Gandalf the Grey's pipe. How fucking sick is that? I paid $50 for this thing, but it's a real working pipe, and it's like from a nice, like, well reputable, like, company that makes pipes. So I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing. And I feel like we all, if you know me, probably know why I bought it. Just why my yes. So when I open it up, it just smells like Woodstock.
Hello, little hobbit.
That is literally why I got it, because I was like, hello, little hobbit. Spock,
You
my
should have gotten
Gonsha.
You should have gotten Bilbo's pipe.
You know, I didn't think about that. I'm gonna look at
it's
I kind of want to get
Bilbo's pipe is harder to find, but I like the design of it better because it's got like a deeper swoosh in it.
That's fair.
Jess the wine taster.
Yes, I met her at my job. Hello. Thank you for stopping by.
T Princess. Jess. We'll go with Jess.
Yes, we're just going to go with Jess. Thank you. Yes, thank you for being here. I figured you'd get a kick out of that because we are both Lord of the Rings fans. And I was like, well, two things.
Yeah.
If it works smoking out of, then I'm in. If not, well, it's a really nice piece to have.
Blonde moment. Okay, that's fun. I love that for you. You can change it like every 30 days if you want to try to fix it, by the way.
You could, yeah, you should just be able to add like a C.
Yeah. Although that explains why it was available.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris, speaking of Lord of the Rings, so there's a thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I'm going to spring it on you guys right now.
Okay.
Because I heard some people arguing about who could take who in a fight, but they were talking about like Aragorn and like a bunch of people from fantasy movies. Matthew McConaughey's
Ooh.
character from Reign of Fire.
Oh, what a good movie.
It really is.
Oh my god.
Orlando Bloom's character from Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh.
Yeah, and the list
Okay.
continues. So my thought is Aragorn takes McConaughey because he knows magic.
Well, McConaughey's from Texas.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any guns.
Yeah, but he could fight. I watched him kill dragons with a sword, bro.
Aragorn?
No. McConaughey's character.
No. Aragorn also, he killed
he
the
did.
ring-raised mounts, which were basically fucking dragons.
Basically dragons.
I mean, that's also basically a dragon, and he also killed it with a sword, and the rider. The rider arguably being scarier than a dragon.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be hard to go against the king, if you think about it.
And he knows magic.
That's true, dude. Aragorn's a gangster.
He's good with a sword. He knows magic.
Also, this
He
is not
doesn't
the
use a lot
nerdiest
of
conversation
magic.
we've ever had on this show.
Okay. But then somebody threw something else in. And they said, okay, Treebeard versus Master Chief.
Master Chief. I've never bet against the Chief in my life.
Oh,
Brie
but that
like
would
she's
be...
about to have a stroke.
Okay. Regardless of who wins, they're walking away at near death in that one, I think, though.
Oh, it's the Master Chief. He never dies. He's like the fucking Terminator, bro.
Yeah, Treebeard's immortal.
Treebeard is immortal. Yeah, that is
so, like,
fair. That doesn't mean he can't die.
So, in the case of so ogres in Middle Earth lore are derived from Ents.
Okay, yeah.
What's the only thing that can kill, like, really just kill an ogre?
What?
The thing that Ents thrive in, sunlight.
Oh, true, yeah. Unless you're
the
Shrek.
Ents don't have a weakness like ogres do. Not ogres, trolls.
Trolls. I was gonna say, yeah, because Shrek, the only thing that kills Shrek is people being in a swamp. And Donkey.
No. The only thing that kills Shrek is bad reviews in the box office.
Listen, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Shrek is life.
The first two.
The first two were good.
The first two were the good ones. The rest we don't talk about.
They get relegated to the same place as Bruno and that one time Patrick Swayze was a pedophile in a movie. Because no one sticks baby in a corner.
Oh my god. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dave? That was not a thing.
Except it was.
He said Patrick Swayze. My brain was like, Patrick Stewart. Wait, when was he
Patrick? Oh. Yeah, wait.
Patrick Swayze.
No, yeah, Patrick Swayze, the Sways. The baby was a minor, and he was like 25 in that movie.
I thought she was like 18.
No,
19.
She's like 16.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch Dirty Dancing.
That's why her dad is so mad.
That explains
I
it.
take the dad's side on that one. I'm just saying. Baby belongs in the corner until she grows the fuck up and starts making good decisions.
Yeah. Anywho, moving along. We have box office numbers. Dude, I don't know how the fuck to come back from that, so we're just moving on.
Look. I have a segue that will help you.
I've already segued it, man. It's too late.
Don't forget, to check out new hit single "Smooth" by Rob Thomas and Santana.
Carlos Santana. The hit single "Smooth." Brie, it looks like most of the top 10 you have reviews on.
I'm assuming that one of the 3 monkey movies that are out right now is at the top of the list.
No, actually. At the top of the list, Monkey Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Kong X Godzilla
are all in theaters. So if
Monkey Man does Monkey Man have anything to do with monkeys, or is it just the name of the movie?
From the trailer that I saw, one of the characters has like a ape mask. I believe it's Dev Patel's character. It has
He's
like
such
an
a
ape
great
mask.
actor.
And I believe he
Underrated.
directed the movie as well.
He did direct it, yeah. Dev Patel, underrated. So at the top of the box
office,
office,
Dev Patel, and I heard Dave Patel, and those are very different people.
Those are very different people.
Very different people.
Very different people.
Dave Patel gets fucked up and says crazy shit. That's usually pretty funny, to be fair.
I think you're thinking of Dave Attell.
I am thinking of Dave Attell. Holy fuck.
Anyway, top of the box office this week is If. And its opening weekend made $34 million. Number
surprised by that.
I mean, it got
what
a 6.7.
the fuck is If? I haven't even heard of it. Is it another horror flick?
I will tell you soon.
Yes,
Okay.
Bree has a review for that. Second is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The second week it made 25 million US, 103 million US in 2 weeks is pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. I message to the people who keep writing Planet of the Apes shit. Stop. None of them have been good. I have yet to enjoy
They've all
a single
been
Planet of the
amazing.
Apes
What are you
movie.
talking about?
Nope.
They have all been excellent.
Terrible. They are terrible.
My mom saw
They're
Kingdom
convoluted.
of the Planet of the Apes. She said it was awesome.
Your mom also likes country music.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm and that movie's a horrendous pile of shit. I don't know if I can trust your mom. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah,
is her
also not a good
movie.
No,
an interesting movie, a thought-provoking movie, worth a
but
watch.
It's not good.
Not a good movie.
No. Tom Hanks has like a million other movies that are way fucking better.
Okay. Right now, favorite Hanks movie.
Oh fuck.
Does Toy Story?
Yes.
Toy Story does count.
Yes.
Ooh, The Terminal.
Okay.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. And a good fucking movie.
But I love how he learns to work. It's so good. The Terminal's so good. If
Stanley Tucci. Oh, dude, great movie.
Oh, I love Stanley Tucci.
The gayest straight man on the planet, besides Dave. Stanley Tucci.
God damn it. Okay, so mine's a toss-up between two. One of which is kind of a deep cut. The other one is not at all. The first one, no. God, no.
Castaway's
My mom loves that movie.
Yeah, but Castaway is not as good as Catch Me If You Can.
That is very true. Catch Me If You Can is great.
Catch Me If You Can is amazing. And that one's my deep cut because not a lot of people have actually seen it, which makes me sad. It's amazing. It's about a con man who's not a con man because he's like trying to cheat people. He just is trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. And he ends up working with the FBI to help catch
Is your second one big?
My second one's Big.
I figured, dude. Big's a great movie.
Big's so good.
Big is a great.
It's one of those movies that's like, oh, down, down, baby, go in the river, shoot, shoot, baby.
Yeah,
and it's funny because wasn't it one of the Coreys that played his friend?
I think so. I'm trying to remember why I love that one of the Coreys. No, you know what? Actually, if I have to think about my favorite movie, it's probably Philadelphia.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, it's a fantastic fucking movie.
I've also never seen You've Got Mail because
Meg Ryan.
No, because when the movie came out, it already felt fucking aged horribly.
Is that a rom-com?
Yes.
Isn't he also in Sleepless in Seattle, or is that somebody else?
I don't think he's in Sleepless in Seattle. He might be. No, that's Richard Gere.
Gerbil Man.
Oh, Gerbil Man.
Lemmy Winks. No.
Also, another deep cut that's actually a good movie is Cloud Atlas. A lot of people didn't like that. Polar Express is another one I love. And I hate Christmas, but I love Polar Express. Apollo
I hate
13 is a classic. No, he was in Sleepless in Seattle.
Apollo 13.
Okay, yeah.
A League of Their Own, he was amazing in. Turner and Hooch.
There's no
A League of
crying
Their
in
Own's fun.
baseball.
There's no crying in baseball. Yep.
Oh yeah, no, dude, Tom Hanks, the GOAT. The Green Mile was great.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was
Stephen
alright.
King though.
I don't. I kind of think he's a hack.
That's I'm a New Englander, bro. We fight for Stephen King.
No. His classic
we
shit.
fight.
But like once they started turning everything he ever did into a movie, and then he kept writing more books, but they were worse.
I still throw hands for my boy Stephen King. He's from Maine. He's a New Englander. We don't fuck with. That's my boy.
You know who else is from Maine? Fucking
Who?
Chris. Well, he's not from Maine, but he apparently no. Andrew. We fucking hate Andrew. Andrew lives in Maine now,
Andrew.
according to Google. Fucking Teenage Wasteland.
Which is a great song.
Oh,
or
it's
not? It's
so,
that's yeah.
Well, it's called Teenage Wasteland. The title's Bob O'Reilly, originally
Bob
done
O'Reilly.
by The Who.
But it's The Who, yeah.
But my favorite version of Bob O'Reilly is the one done by Blue Man Group.
I'll have to check that out. Anyway, we still have more on the list.
So far, if Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Number 3 is The Strangers Chapter 1. In its opening week, did 12 million. Number 4 is The Fall Guy. 3 weeks in, has done 8.4 million. Number 5 is Challengers. In its 4th week, 2.9 million. I do want to give some love to Back to Black, which is the biopic of Amy Winehouse that came out this past weekend. I heard a couple pretty good things on it, so I am interested. Also, Godzilla X Kong is still in the top 10. 8 weeks in. It's made almost 200 million just in the US.
Well, when the stuff that released after it, shit like The Strangers Chapter 1.
It's a horror movie.
And
the eye twitch. Oh no. Oh no, Bree. I feel like you have some spicy
Well, no.
stuff
I'm
to
just
talk
saying,
about, yeah.
like, a lot of the stuff that's come out isn't family friendly. Like, you're not going to take your 10-year-old to go see Challengers. You're not going to, you know what I mean? So, like, of course it's still
some scene in there.
right. So, of course, Kong's still going to be in the top of the box office because you really can't take a 10-year-old to see anything else.
I mean, you can with Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay. But that's not that's a show you don't take a 10-year-old to for a different reason. Because unless they have seen all of the Planet of the Apes movies, understand the convoluted ass storyline and the weird fucking release order, and still want to go see it, you're not taking a 10-year-old to that.
I will never get tired of Bree raising her hand. Yes, Bree, you.
I will say that it is apparently almost 3-hour movie. When my mom went to go see it, she said there were children in the theater, and apparently a group of parents didn't realize how long the movie was. So at the 2-hour mark, this family got up with their child who had fallen asleep and left.
That's
About
adorable.
30 minutes before the movie ended.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's not a whole lot you're going to take, kids to.
That's fair.
And that's something that fucking when people talk box office numbers, that's something I'm surprised this movie's still doing so well. It's a kids movie. Well, yeah, what the fuck else are you going to take kids to watch, you stupid shit?
Well, I'm glad you said that because we do have a children's movie coming out this weekend. We have a couple big box office movies coming out. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is being released this weekend. Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be in it, as well as Chris Hemsworth, which will be fun to
I
hear
need
Chris
to
Hemsworth in
watch
his native Australian accent. Is
because
also awesome.
I watched the first Mad Max remake movie, but I haven't seen Fury Road. I think is the second one yet.
I think that is
I've
the
been
only
told
remake.
you don't have to watch those because this is a prequel. So I was told you don't have to watch them, but it
fair, but
helps
like I
the
still need to
viewing
watch because I
experience.
liked the remake I saw, and I feel like there's another one.
This is the new one. The Fury Road
Okay.
is the one with Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and it's real
then
good.
you've seen it. I love the original. I'm a big fan of Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Gibson before he went on his crazy fucking whatever we want to call that.
And then he came back and then he went nuts again, apparently.
Yeah, it's fucking Mel Gibson, man. But yeah, no, I love those movies.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's also, a joke, by the way. I don't know if he does cocaine. If he does, you know what? I don't fucking care. It doesn't affect me.
My favorite thing is that Chuck. I now pronounce you Chuck Larry goes, "I'm Jewish. I don't want to piss off my mother. I'm Catholic. I don't want to piss off Mel Gibson." That is such a fucking brilliant line.
It really is.
But we have the Garfield movie coming out this weekend.
Oh, fucking gag me.
It is an animated Garfield movie with Chris Pratt. Ving Rhames is in it. Samuel L. Jackson, Nicholas Hoult.
I love
Snoop Dogg is in it. I love Ving Rhames too. That's Marcellus Wallace.
I love Ving Rhames. Right?
It's fucking. Does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? Why are you trying to fuck up like a bitch, Brett? Yes, you did. Yeah, so that'll be out this weekend.
No, that'll probably be fine. You said Garfield, and I thought they were making another live action attempt, and you got to stop doing that.
Okay, so the first one wasn't awful. It was decent. The second one was dog shit.
No. The first one was also
real
dog
fucking
shit.
Bad.
You were just younger when you saw it.
I also love Bill Murray.
I
love Bill Murray.
He seems like such a sweet
I also
old
love
man.
Bill Murray, but I recognize that Bill Murray also likes having money. So sometimes he takes roles that aren't necessarily great because he's Bill Murray and he can get away with it.
That is fair.
Because you want to know what the best, most recent thing I've seen Bill Murray in is?
Ghostbusters?
Zombieland. I haven't seen the new Ghostbusters yet.
So I heard the new Ghostbusters is amazing. I have to watch it.
I have too.
Oh, dude, I loved him in Zombieland. You look just like Eddie Van Halen. I saw Eddie Van Halen. How's he doing? He's dead. He's a zombie. I was like, yeah, now he's just dead, which makes me even sadder.
I mean, to be fair, how old was he when he died? Like 70?
He had cancer, though. No, he was in his late 60s.
Something.
Yeah, late 60s. Yeah, he had cancer. That's what got him.
Right, but even with cancer, he still outlived most rock stars. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, that's true. Although
70 is fucking ancient for a rock and roll.
Mick and Keith are still out doing heroin and fucking partying like rock stars, and they're both clean. 150. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe Keith. If anyone tells me Keith Richards is clean, I'm gonna tell you you're a fucking liar. Mick Jagger, I don't know if I believe that he's clean. He might be as clean as Ozzy.
Well,
Ozzy also has Parkinson's, so
right. Yeah, Mick has a heart condition. Last I heard.
Does he? Mick Jagger and his tiny hand.
Hence his tiny hands and huge fucking mouth.
Hands.
You know, I'd say love you, Mick, but I don't. The Rolling Stones are over fucking rated. They have like
I love the
songs.
Rolling Stones. I do love the Rolling Stones.
One of my favorite Stones song is Paint It Black, though.
Oh, it's a great song. Are you good, Bree? I feel like you're on another planet right now.
No, I'm good. I'm just
okay. Well, guess what? You get to talk now.
My turn. Yay.
Music, movie.
Oh shit! She got notes. She got notes. There will be
She
a
has a
quiz after
book.
class.
Yes. Everyone pay
And
attention.
if you don't pass the
It's my
quiz,
movie journal.
Fuck them. They get a quiz. Everyone pay attention. She's gonna ask a question.
So I have a couple. So some of these are older movies, quote unquote. They came out a couple weeks ago. First is Challengers, which I was very excited about because I love Zendaya, and the director is Luca Guadagnino, who did I didn't see Call Me by Your Name, but he did Bones and All, which I fucking loved. So I was very excited for this movie. The problem is, it is a 2 hour and 11-minute movie trying to tell about a 90-minute story.
Oh no.
So, and then it's also not it's not told in a linear sense. So it does a lot of flashbacks, go back to the present, go not as far back in the past, but then it'll go back to the present, then it'll jump back to like their
sounds
college
like some
years, and then
Tarantino
it'll
shit.
I was just gonna say, who does he think he is? Fucking Quentin Tarantino?
Yep. And then at some points it'll jump back to like an hour ago and then jump back to the past and then jump back to the present. It does a lot of that. So it's like it'll bring up a situation in the past, but then it'll jump to the present and you already know the answer to what happens, but then it'll jump back to the past to answer the situation. And you're like,
So
okay,
you
well,
have to really pay attention, is what I'm hearing.
yes, and it's not that complicated of a movie. It's just it's long and it's trying to fill stuff. And the main scene in the trailer that sold a lot of people on going to see this movie is about 30 seconds long. You
Oh,
see
that's
basically
depressing.
you see basically that whole scene in the trailer minus one thing, which I won't spoil. But it's very well acted. It's well written.
Is
It's
it
just maybe if
Zendaya's
it was
titties?
told,
Or is it
no,
Okay.
is it
you don't
tasteful
see
side
Zendaya
dick?
titties.
Tasteful
Oh no,
side
Tasteful
dick.
side dick. Just the
there's no
shaft.
tasteful. There's no side. It's
It's
just
just dick? It's
yeah.
just dick.
There's a lot of there's very limited female nudity. It's mainly male nudity, which
I
I
mean,
applaud because most movies have it the other way. So I'm like, you know what? Let some dicks be on the screen. Fuck it.
listen, we all know that my gay adjacent just been like, ew, dicks, ever.
So yeah, if it was told linear, maybe I'd enjoy it more. But I just, mm.
Well, so
um,
it sounds like so Guillermo del Toro is also guilty of making movies longer than they need to be, but he does one thing that I feel like Challengers is missing. His movies that are longer than they need to be are usually because he's capturing B-roll of all the really cool monsters they put in the movie.
yeah,
You know what this
no,
movie sounds like? You ever seen Crash?
no.
Yeah. That movie is all over the place and could be half the fucking time that it.
See, I'm trying to think because years ago I watched another movie about two dudes who were dating one girl and I think they grew weed. That was also
Yeah,
entirely too long and fucked up.
that tracks.
And there's no tits in that either.
There's kind of tits in this, but it is through a very sheer bra, so you see them, but they're not out.
That's so like what's the point though? No, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
That is
okay.
the
Look,
extent of the
time
female
out,
nudity
time
in
out,
this
time
movie.
out, time out. Are we considering what Zendaya possesses tits? Because they're more
Yes.
like, I would call them boobs.
Titties are titties,
They're
matter
no,
how
no,
big
they're
they are.
definitely boobs, but like, I don't know if they're tits.
They're titties. Titties are titties. We love all titties. Big, small, medium. We love them all.
Non-existent. We love.
Exactly. We love
Non-existent.
titties. Non-existent.
But yeah,
She is a
so
very slender woman.
and I love that
She's
woman.
so gorgeous though.
All right, next movie. Una momento. Give me just a second. I will be right back.
Oh god.
Are we collecting a prop?
I think so.
All right. I'm going to crank out
Hold
some
on.
dick push-ups while we're waiting.
Some dick push-ups.
Or cock push-ups, excuse me, cock push-ups.
Oh my god, that
But
is the
this
cutest thing I've
movie
ever seen.
is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
No, they made a second one?
They already made a sequel?
Why? Why did they make a second one?
Literally, all my note says is a huge improvement over the first one because they
Oh
got a bigger
god,
budget. I watched an
I would
interview of the
fucking hope so.
director, and he said that for the first movie, their budget was only like $25,000.
Oh Jesus.
So for the second one, I can't remember if it was 214,000 or 412,000, but it was one of those numbers. So not a huge budget, but for horror, you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, you can.
This this one tells a much better story and includes more than just one and two, you can't see Piglet, characters. There are more than just these two motherfuckers. And you can tell they got a bigger budget because there's much better makeup effects. The kills are on screen. Um, and I will always applaud
Hang on.
independent, like self-financed
I have a
movies.
big I have the biggest question.
What?
Yes.
Is Tigger in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bigger budget. They were able to pay for licensing. Because Tigger is not in the public domain.
No, he's not.
Because I know the book version of Winnie the Pooh is in public domain. I don't know if the rest of the characters are.
They're not. That's
No.
another
Oh.
8 years.
How did
So they
they
either
because
licensed
Tigger-
Tigger.
Tigger didn't come around in the original.
No,
How did they
not
book.
get away
until
with Piglet in the first one?
I think
It's
what's
all
the
the
last
original
one?
characters.
House at Pooh
Tigger
Corner?
something. Tigger showed up in a movie and then just became a character because he was so popular.
And he is
I
the best character in this movie.
I love Winnie the
Yes.
Pooh. I do. I'm
All of
named after a Winnie
the
the Pooh character.
Christopher Robin.
Me
Yeah.
too.
What?
What's the owl's name?
Owl.
Owl?
No, the owl has a name.
The owl does not have a name, Dave. His name is Owl.
Owl is Owl. I've only ever heard him called Owl.
His name is Owl.
Oh, no. They all call him Owl. But according to A.A.
Is
Milne's
his name
notes,
Dave?
all of the characters have a name. The only one who's never mentioned by name is Owl.
No, Rabbit's
Because
named Rabbit.
no, Rabbit has a name too. But it is Rabbit, which is weird.
What?
I'll have to see if I can find the
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about, Dave?
I had an annotated copy of one of the Pooh books. But it had names for all the characters except Rabbit, who was just Rabbit. But it's Piglet,
yeah.
Eeyore, Rabbit. I can't remember what the owl's
then
name
there's
was.
Kanga and Roo.
Right, who are kangaroos.
Yeah.
But they all have names, including Rabbit, whose name is Rabbit. But like, it was just a list of the characters and their names.
Dude, Owl's name is fucking Owl. I don't know what you're saying, but his name is Owl.
I'll find it.
Anyways.
I'm not named after that character. That was a joke. But I'm like 90% sure. I'll have to see if I can find my fucking book.
Yeah,
I
what
hope
were
it's
you
not...
saying, Brie?
Anyway, I was saying that another great thing is that I heard some people complain that they come too close to the characters. All of the like Winnie the Pooh characters are based on iconic horror characters. So Tigger is based on Freddy Krueger, and Freddy Krueger is my favorite slasher villain. So that's why Tigger was my favorite character in this movie. There's actually a story going on, unlike in the first one, where there's no story. It's just dudes in rubber masks. That's another thing, is that since they had a bigger budget, they had better makeup effects, and they could actually afford to have shit move instead of just a rubber yellow mask on a motherfucker. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed this. I still only gave it like a 2.5 out of 5, but it was a huge improvement. And the guys who made the movie seemed like really good guys. And I also heard they talked about how a lot of them had to do double duty. Like the producer of the movie is the main actor, and he had to do costuming. The director had to do set deck. So
Oh,
y'all made a movie on no money.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'm
no,
glad to
I'm
hear he's a good guy.
so you said that all of the characters are based on horror movie slashers, and I was thinking like originally, and then I realized you meant in the movie, not in
Yeah.
the original books, and I'm like,
Dave
wait,
was
what?
like, wait a
No.
second.
No, in the movie. So Tigger's based on Freddy Krueger. Winnie the Pooh's based on Jason. Piglet is based on Leatherface, and Owl is based on Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies.
Just as long as it's not the new Hellraiser movie, because it was fucking
Wait,
awesome.
is Eeyore not in it?
No.
Eeyore is dead.
Oh,
They
I
ate
know.
Eeyore.
Don't they kill and eat him in the first one? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right, next movie. I can take this off now because it's fine here. All right, next movie, The Fall Guy. My notes, I put an amazing tribute to stunt people. It's hilarious, well acted, well written. There's not enough Winston Duke in it. He's in it for a good amount, but he's not in it nearly enough because
I
I love
love him.
Winston Duke.
He's such a good actor.
He's so funny in this movie. So if you haven't heard of this
One
movie,
more word out of you, and I will feed you to my children. I'm kidding. We're
it has
vegetarians.
Ryan
It's the
Gosling,
best
Emily
line in
Blunt.
all of the Black Panther movies, in my opinion. It's the funniest fucking thing.
Who else?
Yeah, the
Oh yeah,
cast is
Ryan
crazy.
Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson. There's another lady, but I can't remember her name. I know she's a big actress. But it is a hilarious movie just in general, but it's also funny as fuck if you know the process of getting a movie made. Like there are jokes about how there's no stunts that stunts are not recognized at any award shows. There's jokes about like uh, ex- exposition in movies. There's jokes about overbearing producers and try hard directors. So it's like if you know the industry, this movie is so fucking funny.
Right.
Um, I've heard
Teresa
some people say
Palmer.
there's a little. Does it say she plays a woman named Gail?
Um, no, Gail is Hannah Waddingham.
Okay, maybe then it wasn't her, but there was somebody else I know that's a huge actress. I just can't remember what it was. Um, but yeah, so it is. I've heard some people say there's a little too much going on because not only is it a tribute to stunt people, it is also a romantic comedy. But then there's also like a spy action angle to it. I thought it all blended well together, but if you think all those things intertwining doesn't work, that's your opinion. I think they all worked. I could have done without the romantic comedy angle, but I get that they kind of had to put that in there for certain things to happen within the movie.
That's fair.
Well,
There's a
it's
couple
so
twists.
I like twists. And no, I think rom-com elements in a situation like that are not only fine, but like you said, kind of required, because in any good movie there is a defining relationship that drives the plot forward. And it's hard to have a like serious defining relationship in a movie that's not meant to be sad, that's anything other than rom-com, because yeah, that relationship could be like mentor mentee, but that doesn't always have the stakes that a romantic relationship has. And if you make it like, I'm doing this to get back at my father, like the movie has a weird vibe to it, then I like, yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, the twists in it are kind of obvious. I kind of compare the twists in it to how obvious you saw Argyle, right, Chris?
I did, and I loved it.
Would you say the twists in that were kind of obvious?
Yeah.
This one kind of has the same thing going for it, where the twist, if you're paying attention or if you have two brain cells to rub together, you can kind of figure it out, but it
Yeah.
doesn't ruin the movie.
So twists being obvious isn't necessarily, in my opinion, a bad thing, especially when a movie's trying to keep some semblance of realism. Because in
Right.
real life, it's never aliens, right?
Yeah.
In real life, it's never ghosts. In real life, it's never demons coming up from hell to devour your soul. It's fucking, oh, that guy you
And all the
thought was your
demons talk
friend
just like
is
that.
really a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, from as an external observer in real life, that twist is pretty obvious sometimes too. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Next, we have tarot, which is it bad? Yes. Is it dumb? Yes. Is it what you think of when most people that don't like horror movies think of horror movies? It's that. It is dumb. It's stupid. The characters make all the wrong decisions, and you're screaming. Literally, I had a terrible theater experience. Dudes next to me were watching TikTok at full volume. Dude in front of me took a phone call about 5 minutes out into the movie on speaker, and the girls at the very front were screaming at the screen the entire time. I think this was their first horror movie.
Oh my god. Who the fuck takes a phone call in a theater, though? Can we discuss
About
this?
5 minutes into the movie, I literally looked at my phone and was like, "It's only been on 5 minutes," and dude's
I would
literally
be
like,
like, do
"Yeah,
you
just in
mind?
here." Dude's in there like, "Yeah, I'm just in here watching this dumbass movie," and I'm like, "It's been on 5 minutes. How do you know it's dumb already? We haven't even
Oh, I
met
would have
any
been like,
characters."
I would
Okay.
have been like, dude,
Okay.
shut your fucking
Time out.
phone off.
Time out. First off, phone's always on vibrate in the theater.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
never have the ringer on. Second, I have taken a phone call in a theater that was, hey, give me a second, I'll call you back. Hung up the phone and walked outside because I was on
Yeah.
call at work.
It's
Right?
that's called respectful, though, Dave. That's called being
Right.
respectful.
Yeah, no,
It sounds
dude.
like this fucking guy didn't know how to be that.
Oh, yeah, no,
That
but
is
I'm saying, like,
cheating.
it's if you need to take a phone call, you take a phone call, but you fucking leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those movies that you want to scream at the screen, but guess what? You're in a theater. Shut the fuck up. But
Right.
at the same time, they were the least annoying part because at least they were into the movie. Everybody else, the bit, like I said, the motherfucker sitting next to me, fucking watching TikTok at full volume. I just want to look over and be like, "Can y'all turn the shit off or bring headphones?" Jesus fucking Christ. But
We need to teach you how to be vocal,
I,
woman.
yeah, I sat there quietly the whole time. But
Yeah,
I had a
the
fun
last time I
time.
had a theater experience like that, I got motherfuckers kicked out and got my ticket comped and tickets to another movie later that week.
Yeah, my dad and I have had someone thrown out for being an asshole.
Yeah, I had a fun time with it. Like I have said, I love stupid horror. Like I love good horror too, but I really love stupid horror because you just laugh at the idiotic
Mhm.
Oh
decisions.
yeah.
And this
Oh yeah.
movie is also very reminiscent. If I'm not going to say what it is, but if you've seen any of these movies and you can connect what kind of is the same
Is it
about these movies,
is it
it's
similar to
very
Oculus?
no, it's very Final Destination, Countdown,
Oh,
It
okay.
Follows,
Oh,
Truth or
yeah.
Dare.
It Follows
It's
was
Ah.
so
very much
stupid.
it's very much that kind of thing where I'm not going to say it, but if you know what the same thing is about all of those movies, yeah. Um, there was one
They're all
effective
kind of
scene
bad.
for me. No, I like Final Destination and It
Final
Follows.
Destination, It Follows was stupid. The last good Final Destination was 3. After 3, I didn't give a
I
fuck because they were all
disagree.
bad.
The last good Final Destination was back when they hadn't made one because I went and saw the first one in the theater at the request of my friend group. I went with them. I sat through the whole fucking movie. It gets to
But you
the end
don't
of the
like
movie and
horror movies, Dave.
I like
everybody's
one,
like,
2, and 5.
I like 1, 2, and 5.
I hate
See, and
3 and
Chris
4.
says the last good one was 3, so this is a fight.
Well, the
But
first 2
no,
were good.
we get to the end. We get to the end of Final Destination, and we all go outside, and everybody's talking about it, and they're like, "Man, what did you think of the scene where this happened?" I'm like, "The cinematography was really good, but none of that made any fucking sense."
It's not supposed to make sense.
It
Like,
doesn't make sense.
The
But
whole plot
their
doesn't make sense.
subjective framing is so fucking flawed from the beginning.
Yeah, it's not supposed to make sense.
And but the thing is, with a few story changes in the first movie, it all would have made more sense.
Also, talk about kickstarting Ali Larder's career.
Who the fuck is that?
She's the main character.
In what?
Final Destination. She's been in a bunch of shit too after.
Congratulations, that's like being the smartest kid in Alabama.
All right, again, you have crazy fucking takes and everything, Dave. So like,
it also is in the middle of Devon Sawa's like the main voyage of being a star.
Dude, it's a fucking yeah.
Devon Sawa, he is the kid, and he's one of the young.
I know the name.
I know the name.
I just didn't hear the name the first time. I know the name. Yeah, I don't remember where I know it from. Did he recently get cast in a Marvel something?
No.
I know he's in all the seasons of Chucky.
Maybe that's where I heard his name before.
I
feel like I've seen him in something. Like the name sounds that familiar.
Have you seen Idle Hands?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I love that movie. I love Idle Hands. Idle Hands
It's a stoner. It's a stoner comedy horror.
It's a stoner comedy for sure.
And the thing is, I don't hate horror movies. I love the Army of Darkness movies. But if you're gonna have it stupid, go full into B movie horror, right? Because that shit's the best. What?
There's lots of horror movies that do just lean into. They understand that the concept is dumb as fuck, and they just lean into it.
See, and that I'm into. But Final Destination, like the series, always felt like it took itself far more seriously than it should have. And if they kind of realized how funny the whole concept of the thing was, I feel like it would have been a better experience for me, at least. But I think stupidity. I think if going into it that it's a not well put together precept, right? And that there are problems with the story.
Yeah.
So you make fun of them. That's what Idle Hands did. That's what all of the Army of Darkness trilogy does. That's a trope in B movie horror, right? Have you ever seen Bubba Hotep? Bubba Hotep is the best horror movie of all time. It's fucking.
It's like Sharknado. Sharknado knew that it was going to be the dumbest fucking movie ever made. And they just were like, how can we make this dumber? Ian Ziering, because he hasn't been famous since 90210.
Right.
Dude, no. Your two biggest fucking people are Tara Reid and Ian Ziering. And the worst horror movie I've ever seen in my entire life. But I've watched all of them.
Yeah. I've seen the first and half of the second
Mark
one.
Cuban is the president in one of them.
It's
I don't know.
You want to know what the scariest horror movie I've ever seen is? And it's not actually a horror movie, but it's a horror movie if you know.
What?
Idiocracy.
Oh my god, yeah, if you think about it, that movie's intense as fuck.
If you think about it, that movie is intense and terrifying.
I don't know. I feel like the most fucked up horror movie I've ever seen was Midsommar.
I've never seen Midsommar.
It's wild.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, dude.
Florence Pugh is great.
Oh, I love Florence Pugh.
All right. I'm going to try not to rant about this movie for that long because I say rant. I'm very conflicted on my next movie, The Strangers Chapter 1. I am conflicted because the original from 2008 is one of my favorite horror movies of all time because it is one of the only horror movies that has terrified me without including a clown. Like, scariest movie of all time to me is still It Chapter 1, but that's just because clown. The Strangers is one of the only movies that doesn't have a clown that terrifies the shit out of me. But that's because I spend a lot of time home alone, and the thought of someone breaking in and trying to murder me is very real. So this one, if that movie did not exist, this movie would be a very passable, good time at the theater. It's whatever. But because of that original one, this one recreates many scenes from that one. There's the scene that I can think of from the original is there's the main character, Liv, who's played by Liv Tyler, is in her kitchen making a cup of water, just kind of is walking around, and motherfucking Baghead is behind her, just staring at her creepily, watching her just make a cup of water. It's terrifying because now every time I go to my kitchen, I'm doing this, trying to make sure there's nobody standing behind me. This movie recreates that scene in a different way. So it's not the same, but it's still girl doesn't notice motherfucker is behind her. And it's shot well, it's just not as scary. It doesn't invoke terror in me at all. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting camera shot, but I'm not scared. So, and then also I saw an interview that the director did, and he has intrigued me because we're supposed to get two more, one at towards the end of the year, and then the last one is supposed to come out at the beginning of next year. And they introduced some things in this movie that have intrigued me, but at the same time, I compare it to what I heard someone say makes Joker so scary is that like you don't know why he's doing what he's doing. You don't, depending on what iteration of the Joker you're looking at, you don't know who he is. He's just the Joker.
Right.
The strangers, you don't know who they are. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They just are murderers. They're just breaking into people's houses and killing them. You don't know why. This movie has set up a situation where you learn that. I don't want to know because it's going to make it even less scary, but at the same time, it has intrigued me to see what they come up with. Also, it has
Uh,
Richard Brake, and I enjoy Richard Brake in most horror movies he's in. He's in a lot of Rob Zombie stuff. So he's in
yes,
this movie
yes.
for like two seconds in the background. He doesn't speak, so I'm like, okay, you don't cast Richard Brake in a movie and not have him come back at some point. So I'm very intrigued to see what they come up with. But at the same time, I don't want answers, but I that's why I'm saying I'm conflicted because while I wanted to kind of see what they do, I don't want to know the answer.
Right.
'Cause-
Well, and it's
So
going to your Joker analogy, which is actually a really good analogy because they do this a lot. I've seen a lot of good writing that uses that same concept where you take your antagonist, but instead of making them a person, you make them an idea
Right.
or a concept.
mhm.
And a concept is something intangible, which by its very nature makes it harder to deal with.
Right.
And that's genius, but kind of removing that mask, I don't know. The Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, for instance, inspired performance. I liked it. It is a version of the Joker in my mind as much as any other version of the Joker. But he doesn't carry the same weight because he's just a dude,
Yeah.
right? As where Mark Hamill's Joker is a fucking psychotic force of nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's Joker is a calculating, manipulative shadow behind everything. Even the persona he puts forward, right? That's who the real Joker is in that movie. Is the mastermind behind everything, which is Heath Ledger's character, but he plays it off.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's Joker, just a dude.
Don't they give him a name and a backstory?
Yeah,
Jack
he's Jack
Napier.
Napier. Yeah, he's just a dude.
Yeah. The final thing I will say about the Stranger Chapter One is that the characters in the first one are not the smartest human beings. They do make a lot of dumb decisions. This movie, they took that and elevated it to 100%. The only thing in this movie that was creepier than in the original that makes the characters seem like more is in the original. Girl comes to the door, asks if Tamara's home. It's a little creepy, but it's not like bitch, get the fuck out of there. When she comes back the second time, now it's like, all right, we gotta go. This one, they make it so creepy, her coming to the door based on their location and what they have experienced so far in this movie, that it's like, why are you still in this house? If y'all don't start running, I know that y'all do not have a working car. I know that y'all do not have a way to get out. Run! Jesus fucking Christ. It's so creepy that it's like, why are you still here? There's a couple other situations where it's like, okay, where the male character starts out being the smart one and he's like, yeah, all this shit is wrong. We need to go. And then halfway through the movie, it switches where he becomes the dumbass and the girlfriend becomes like the smart one and is like, why are we still here? And he's just like, no, it's fine. It's a little creepy. We'll be gone in the morning.
Can't think of her name, but she was in Riverdale, right?
Madeline Petch, yes.
Thank you. Yes.
So,
I was like, I know her. I couldn't fucking place her name, but I was like, yeah, she was in.
One time, I had someone enter my home uninvited when I was there. It has happened one time in my life. I was the only one home, thank God. I heard the front door open. It's 4:00 in the morning. Why the fuck is my front door opening? That's not right. There was a street light, like right across the street from my front door. So I looked out in the hallway in my bedroom, see the shadow of a person. So it wasn't just the wind blew it open or whatever.
Yeah.
So I stood just inside my bedroom doorway with this, and I waited for him to get close. And I waited till I could see the tops of his shoes in like the doorway shadow because of the light angles and shit. But I was using the angle of his shadow to know where he was. I turned the corner, put this against his throat, and said, "You're in the wrong house." And his hands immediately shot up, and like they went this way, like as far away from the blade as possible, because I think he wanted to make sure he didn't cut his own throat.
Yeah.
And he said, "I am in the wrong fucking house." And I said,
Yeah.
Let all your little crackhead friends know that the next one of you motherfuckers I find in here, I'm going to cut your head off and I'm going to put it on my lawn. And then I'll call the cops.
Yeah,
Unless you'd rather be the example.
Yeah.
And then I heard him piss himself. And then I let him leave.
Yeah, it's a lesson you don't need to learn more than once.
To be fair, Chris, this guy was probably about your size. Maybe a couple inches taller. And like scrawny crackhead dude.
Okay.
Like sickly scrawny crackhead dude.
Oh no.
And then you get this big motherfucker turn the corner with a 3-foot long blade that just meets your throat. I would piss myself too.
Yeah.
That's not an invalid reaction.
That's a fair reaction. That's again, lesson you only need to learn one time.
But yeah, and guess what? Everybody else in that neighborhood had to chain up the barbecue grill and everything else. Nobody touched our fucking stuff. Nobody fucked with us. I cannot imagine why.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even tell you why. Don't go to that house.
Because he let all his little crackhead friends know that man will fucking kill you and he will make it hurt the whole goddamn time you're dying.
All right. Final review. I am
sorry.
So we have If, which is the newest Ryan Reynolds movie, directed by John Krasinski. The cast is insane. It has Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski, Aquafina. There's a bunch of people in this fucking movie.
Aquafina's hilarious.
There's a Pepsi product in the movie?
No, she's a comedian.
Oh. Pepsi doesn't
She was in Shang-Chi.
She was in Shang-Chi.
What did she play in Shang-Chi?
I don't remember.
She played Shang-Chi's best friend.
Really?
Yeah, that's Aquafina. She's fucking hilarious.
She's called Aquafina?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Girl.
But so the premise of this movie is a young girl who goes through a difficult experience begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real life friends have grown up. So it's her and Ryan Reynolds trying to reconnect all these imaginary friends with the grown up versions of their kids.
Is Ryan Reynolds an imaginary friend? That's my first question.
I cannot
Okay,
answer
so
that
yes,
question.
he is.
It's fairly obvious. It's obvious. It
Yeah.
is a twist in the movie, but it's obvious as shit. As soon as he popped up on screen, my mom leaned over and said, "Oh, he's an imaginary friend." I'm like, "Thank you, mother." It's
Second,
you.
is he called Blue? Do
No,
they all go to a place called Foster's? Home
no.
for imaginary friends? Because this
Right,
feels like
Chuck.
There is a
Foster's Home
character
for
named Blue.
Imaginary Friends all grown up, and I'm kind of fucking here for it.
There is a character named Blue, but he's purple because his kid was colorblind.
That's so fucking brilliant.
Line directly out of the movie.
He's cool.
Okay, so it is a family movie. It is a family movie. There are a bunch of parents on the internet who are boycotting this movie because they believe that they were mismarketed, because this movie has a very small subplot that deals with the loss of a parent, or the grief and pain that a child experiences because of that. And a lot of parents are like, my child is too young for this. And I'm like, you
Hang on,
decide
what's
what
the
your
movie
child,
rated? What's the movie rated?
like
PG.
PG, probably. Hold on. Yeah, it's PG.
Yeah.
Okay, then if your kid's younger than 10, you probably shouldn't take them to see the movie. That's what PG means.
I
Not
mean, you
recommended
could
for
be
children under
like,
10. Children 10 and older, parental guidance is suggested. That's
and I
what that
feel like
means. That's
it's,
what PG means.
yeah, I feel like that's the only reason that it's PG, because there's no bad language, there's no violence, there's no anything. It's just because of the loss of a parent that it kind of deals with. So you decide what your child sees. But I feel like if your child is any older, I would say even 8. If your child is 8, they can handle this movie. I heard one parent complaining and comparing it to when they took their kid to see Sausage Party, and I told Chris this earlier. I don't remember a giant imaginary friend orgy at the end of this movie, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Holy fucking cast.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I told you this cast is
Steve
crazy.
Carell. George Clooney, Bradley Cooper, Bill Hader, Emily Blunt. Who else is there? Keegan-Michael Key, Blake Lively, Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a comedian. Chris Maloney, who's also Reese. Sam Rockwell, Maya Rudolph, Amy Schumer, Jon Stewart, Brad Pitt.
Oh, you lost me at Schumer.
They're all voice acting roles that are only on screen for like a second.
Oh,
The only two.
I'm
Yeah.
teasing. I don't care
Also,
for her
the
stand up.
third Daddario
I
sibling is
personally
in
don't
this
think
movie.
she's funny, but I don't have
Yes.
anything
Yes,
against
she
Amy
is.
Schumer.
But yes,
Wait.
this movie is enjoyable. It's funny. The message of the movie, I feel like, can apply to even children as young as 8, where it's like, don't let your age or what you've been through in life or what you've lost in life ever let you lose that childlike imagination, that you can have fun even as an adult, that you don't have to grow up as fast as you think that you should based on societal standards. So I think it is
Shit,
a
I
very
still
good
have
message.
imaginary friends.
Some
Where'd
critics
Kevin go?
noted the film sharing some similarities with the Cartoon Network animated series Foster, which again, I loved that show.
I did too. I like potatoes. Eduardo and cheese. I like potatoes. Cheese was my favorite because he sounded so creepy and he was so fucking dumb. Cheese wants to come. Come. He sounds like a demented Stitch. That's how you do cheese.
Dave, let the girls finish.
We'll end my movie review section.
I'm sorry.
Is that the CGI for all of the imaginary friends? Yes, it's very clearly CGI. It's cartoony, but I feel like it fits because they're imaginary friends. It fits the movie. So it looks really, really good. They don't look like real creatures, but they look cartoony like a kid's imagination is. So it's really good.
Look.
I had a fun time.
In Detective Pikachu, all of the Pokemon look kind of cartoony, and I was here for that too. You know why?
Detective Pikachu was
because
awesome.
Have you ever seen a realistically rendered Mr. Mime? Fuck
it's
you.
Horrifying.
Nobody needs to see that. Detective Pikachu is not supposed to be a goddamn horror movie.
Yeah.
Although,
wants to see
I will say, fuzzy, fluffy Snorlax, like hyper realistic Snorlax, is fucking adorable.
Oh yeah, no, we love Snorlax. All right, let's be real. Name me a Pokemon that can cuddle better than fucking. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a pervert, Chris.
My first thought was Lickitung, and I don't know.
No,
I think we all know why.
Yeah, well, we do know
look,
why.
my first thought was Cloyster, so same boat.
Haunted vagina.
Spoopy Magoo-Goo!
Spoopy Magoo-Goo. God, we still never
Y'all
made the
forgot that
Spoopy
was a
Magoo-Goo.
reference to Cloyster, didn't you?
No, that was one of the best things we've ever come up with. We came up with that on this show. For 3 weeks, Dave and I just Spoopy Magoo-Goo.
That's no printer.
It was worth it. It was great. Dude, overall, are there movies you don't recommend?
You said that I don't?
That you don't. Out of those, which ones do you not recommend going to see?
It depends on what your movie taste is, because Challengers Film Twitter ate that movie up. They said, oh, if you didn't like it, you just didn't understand it. You didn't understand the metaphors and similes. I'm like, it's not that complicated. It was just too fucking long. And it wasn't in the linear, it should have been told linear, or at least cleaned up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, as somebody who recently started seeing some of movie Twitter, because I read your posts, and so it's like, oh, you want to read all these other people's posts, and I'm like, I really don't.
Movie Twitter's crazy.
You know what I've discovered about movie Twitter? It's a bunch of self-righteous, pretentious assholes who are all stroking each other's dicks in a fucking echo chamber, trying to seem like the smartest guy in the room.
Isn't that just Twitter?
I mean, not the parts of Twitter, but I'm on the part of Twitter where I told Sear yesterday. I told Sear that I had detention and I needed him to pick me up from school. Because he was dressed like a 80s fucking TV dad.
My extent of Twitter is strictly for use with like Pucked Up and stuff. Like I just strictly follow like hockey shit and like racing shit, but that's all just for like work purposes. I don't ever use Twitter. I really don't use social media.
It depends on what your taste is. If you are one of the high pretentious movie, you think that you're better than everybody.
If you were talking to me, I guess, at least like specifically for you know my movie.
The Fall Guy. For you, I would say the only one out of the list I feel like you would truly enjoy is The Fall Guy.
I mean, I pretty much all of them I wanted to see. But the Fall Guy, Fall Guy is one that I really want to see. Or that I wouldn't. Which one would you not recommend to me?
Ooh, hold on. Let me look back at the list.
Also, slightly asking for future ideas for
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Nah, bro, I'd eat that shit up. I love those movies.
I know. I just have never. They're so long, and Charlton Heston is just so. He's so good in so many other things, and then you see him in Planet of the Apes.
Best Charlton Heston movie, I still say, is Omega.
Best Charlton Heston movie, in my opinion, is The 10 Commandments. Because that movie is
have to look
legitimately
up.
so fucking good. He plays Moses.
You said, what's the man's name?
Charlton Heston.
Can you spell that?
Charlton.
I got Charles.
No, it's not Charles. It's Charlton. Like Carlton fucked Charles and made Charlton. Heston. Heston. I would like to see Charlton doing the Carlton.
That would be pretty wild.
Yep. Nope. Haven't seen a single one of these movies. Yep. Haven't seen Ben-Hur, The Ten Commandments, any of the Planet of the Apes, True Lies. Yep. Nope. Don't
True
know
Lies
any of
was
these
pretty
movies.
good. Didn't he play a
True Lies
villain
was
in
pretty
that?
good. I think so.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger was the hero, and was it Jamie?
Of course.
Jamie Lee Curtis was in it.
Jamie Lee Curtis played his wife, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember the rest of her name. I could see her fucking face because she's in everything.
Yeah. She is in everything.
Wait, isn't she playing Tannis?
Yeah, to answer your question, the only one I wouldn't recommend to you, Chris, is Tarot, because I think it veers too far into stupid ass characters and dumb, just everything.
Yeah, and that's one of them that was on the list for movies, and I was like,
It has Ned. He's the best character because it's Ned.
Can I guess which one you would recommend for me?
Hold on.
None of them, because you hate everything.
I'll say Wendy Challengers. Honestly, out of this list, I feel like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey veers far enough into the dumb concept that you might get a kick out of it.
I still want to see the first one because like it owns how stupid it is, and I'm here for that.
It's so bad.
And not even enjoyable bad. Because it's
rough,
such
dude.
low budget.
But no, I've been interested in seeing The Fall Guy because that is such a high concept thing for such a like basic thing. I enjoy that kind of shit.
The casting's great too.
And the casting's phenomenal.
I love Emily Blunt. I love Ryan Gosling.
There's an end credit scene that I don't know if the cast list reveals the end credit scene. Don't look it up because it is the funniest shit I've seen in a movie all year long. It is so goddamn
Also,
funny.
can we talk about, for the second time in his career, Brad Pitt has played a character who's invisible?
I didn't want to say that part because it is
trying to think of who I'm talking about.
No. Because he played the Vanisher in.
He plays Vanisher in Deadpool 2, and he has no lines, and while he's being electrocuted.
He's 3 frames you see his face, I think.
You see his face for like 3 or 4 frames, and then that's it.
Apply him in Deadpool 2 to
yes.
If apply that to If. Because Brad Pitt is not in this movie.
I'm so fucking it, but he's credited.
He's credited, but he's not in this movie.
Which I think
that's
arguably
fabulous.
funnier.
That is because my mom got mad. She was like, "Where he didn't have lines? Where was Brad Pitt? He was not."
No. I guarantee you, he was there for the shooting one day, and they're like, "Hey, this is going to be hilarious. We're going to put you in a green morph suit, and you're going to be in all kinds of scenes, and we're just going to remove you."
He's good friends with Ryan Reynolds, which is why he was in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, no,
him. This is in the trailer, so I don't feel like it's a spoiler, but you see in the trailer that Ryan Reynolds trips over and is like, "Hey, my theory is that they just had Brad Pitt lay on the floor and had Ryan Reynolds trip over him." That is my theory.
Okay.
That's so
I'm
funny,
here
though.
for it. But that's why Brad Pitt winds up in cameos with a lot of Ryan Reynolds stuff. He was almost in the Hitman's. He was almost in the Hitman's Bodyguard too, because he was there for some of the shooting of that. Apparently,
I fucking love Brad Pitt, man. I love Brad
So
Pitt.
yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and The Fall Guy I'd recommend to Dave. And then The Fall Guy, out of the list I've said, is the one I feel like Chris would enjoy the most. But you might get a kick out of Blood and Honey.
First one was so bad.
Well, and I definitely want to watch If, because that just has Foster's written all over it, and I'm here for that.
Mm-hmm. It is a very cute, heartfelt movie.
Where can we watch Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Most likely
I will let you know right now.
HBO Max, because that was Cartoon Network, so I think HBO Max.
I don't have that one.
I do. It is on Hulu.
I have that one. I'm watching Foster's tonight.
Hulu's also on. What do you mean? The fuck are you saying? Start your free trial. Hulu is also on Max as well, which is nice. Hulu's kind of just like on every other platform.
Yep.
Because it's on Disney Plus, it's on Max.
But if you cancel your Hulu subscription, it doesn't stay on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Yeah, I canceled it because I was like, oh, it's just all on Disney Plus. I'll just watch it on there. And then my mom's like, hey, Hulu disappeared. And I was like, the fuck?
Look, I'm also, for those of you who don't know, and this is for you two too, I've been streaming episodes of Hell's Kitchen and doing commentary in the evenings before I go to bed. That's where all the pictures of Andrew, we hate him. Fuck Andrew. He got kicked off last night. But yeah, I've been watching those. I probably won't tonight because like I would have started like an hour ago or better. But
even though our show goes till 10 p.m., you still would have started. We would
no.
Now.
Like I'm probably not going to do it on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I was going to say no. We would be ending like usually about
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I probably won't do it on Wednesdays. Just because.
Speaking of movies,
yeah, we do have a few things to talk about as well. What were you saying, Brie?
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of movies that I think Chris would like, Dune Part 2 is finally on HBO Max.
Oh, trust me, I will be watching that. My father watched.
I haven't seen the first one yet.
So good.
My experience with the Dune franchise has been primarily through the video games. Because I had a Dune top-down game made by Westwood Studios, the company that made Command and Conquer. They also made a Dune game in that same style that was so good. And I always played as the Harkonnen because the Harkonnen are awesome. And then I found out the Harkonnen are allegedly the bad guys. Fuck you, the Harkonnen are fine. The Harkonnen are just looking out for everybody, all right? Y'all leave them alone. Quit picking on the Harkonnen.
Way worse in the books, Dave. Like, way worse. There's a lot of shit that they pulled out.
Oh, no, I know.
Oh, Chris, I don't know if you do know, Dave. I will explain more after the show. But yeah, there's a lot of shit that they had to take out in the movie.
I'm just saying, stop picking on the Harkonnen. They were my favorite faction in the game.
Again, Dave, you just love villains.
Good at everything. I also tend to gravitate
towards villains. Dave is just...
Look, no. I don't gravitate towards villains. I gravitate towards efficiency.
You like villains.
No. I like efficiency.
I'm gonna die on that
It's
hill.
not my fault that heroes are inefficient and villains are efficient. Make better heroes.
What's next on the show?
Yeah, anywho... It took us an hour and a half to get through movie stuff.
I'm sorry.
It was no. It was a great hour and a half,
yeah.
And don't you apologize, Bree. It was my fucking fault.
Hashtag blame Dave in chat.
First one who does it catches a ban. Who's brave? Who's brave?
Oh yeah, I get to talk more.
Yeah, and to say, Bree, I'm gonna let you talk about our next topic. There's a couple things that
Is Roger Corman next?
If you'd like him to be next.
What was next?
I know that name.
Sorry.
Just talk about Roger Corman.
Okay, So Roger Corman is a legend in the movie industry. He recently passed a few weeks back, and I just wanted to take a second to honor him because he was named the king of cult. He basically was kind of built the blueprint of like how to make an independent movie that you can do anything with a very limited budget if you really try hard enough. Some of his proteges and like people that he like brought into the industry were people like James Cameron, Quentin Tarantino, like these big name directors got started making little independent films. Um, while none of his movies per se are like these huge classics, but he did like his style of filmmaking is what made
I
him so iconic.
Well, and the thing is, so I'm looking at his filmography for things he produced, right?
Hmm. Oh, the produced
Um
is crazy.
I fucking Sharktopus, Dino Croc Super Gator, Dino Shark, Camel Spiders, Piranha, a name I know, Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader,
Like I said, crazy.
Sharktopus, Whale, Viol, Death Race 2050, Death Race, Wolfhound, Raptor, Nightfall, White Pony,
There's your death race,
Haunting,
Dave.
Haunting of Hell House, Carnosaur 2, Carnosaur, In the Heat of Passion, the cover of which looks like a romance novel, The Unborn, Frankenstein Unbound, Watchers 2, I can't read that. Oh, Blood Fist, and Lords of the Deep.
So
Yeah.
he was a producer on the 1994 movie The Fantastic that was never officially released.
But you can find on, I think, YouTube.
I imagine it's probably terrible.
Oh, it is. It is. It is
Just,
very bad. He
just
also has a very small in the background cameo in Silence of the Lambs.
that yes he does.
He also has acting/starring credits in Extraordinary Tales, Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader, Sharktopus, Dino Shark, Rachel Getting Married. Here's the impressive ones: The Manchurian Candidate with Denzel,
Yeah,
Looney Tunes Back in Action, which I
which was a
still
great
haven't
movie.
seen.
Oh, it's so good. Brendan Fraser. Oh, dude, it's such a good fucking
I
movie.
I love Brendan Fraser. Scream 3, The Second Civil War, Apollo 13.
Philadelphia, The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Mhm.
Cannonball. Oh, now that makes me think of Cannonball Run, which is a movie I need to watch because it's fucking
You said Cannonball, and I
brilliant.
immediately thought of Cannonball Run.
But Cannonball Run, dude, this movie is fucking iconic. I love how they have a character that's based off of AJ Foyt in that movie. Yeah, shout out to Roger Corman for an amazing career. Sad to hear the passing for sure. That guy did do a lot with very little. Was a very impressive. Um, Also there was another thing that I think you wanted to mention, the Legally Blonde TV show that is
Oh,
apparently happening.
yes, this is a prequel series that is going to come out on Amazon Prime, I believe, next year. Reese Witherspoon has an, uh, mm, an executive producer credit on it. And I love Legally Blonde. So while I don't know how a prequel series on Amazon Prime is going to do, I am excited. I don't
I
know
don't know
anything else.
how a prequel's gonna. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm
And
curious on
now
how that's gonna work.
yep, and everybody is now like, Sabrina Carpenter, get on this. Sabrina Carpenter, get on this. And I'm like, that's
That's
a
a
very
perfect
busy
role
woman.
for her. That's a perfect role for her, though. I think she would do a great job.
She's just a very busy woman.
Oh, she's incredibly busy right now.
Dating Barry Keoghan.
That's right. What a weird
That's
couple.
That's a very attractive couple.
Speaking of other former Disney stars, Sabrina Carpenter.
Speaking of other former Warner Brothers shit. So I saw a post. This is another secret topic Dave wanted to bring up. But the post was, who is the best Clark Kent, not Superman, but Clark Kent actor? And they have Christopher Reeves, the kid from Smallville, the guy who ended up playing the Atom in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
The dickhead who wouldn't shave his mustache, and whoever the new Superman is, I'm guessing.
I'm gonna hate on my boy Henry Cavill.
You might be talking about the actor from Superman and Lois.
No, not Lois and Clark.
No?
That's Dean Cain. And
That's
they
Dean
left
Cain.
him
No,
out, and he
there's
is the best Clark Kent.
No, there is a new one that was on CW, I believe, called Superman and Lois, and it had one of the guys from Teen Wolf.
I posted the picture, or I put a link because I'm like, I was shocked. How do you leave out Dean Cain?
I feel like everyone leaves Dean Cain out of everything because it's Dean Cain, and he's just kind of randomly and everywhere.
But he was so good as Clark Kent.
Oh, well, he's great. I love Dean Cain.
He was kind of a shit Superman, but I blame that on it being a made-for-TV show.
Yeah.
You said you posted the picture where?
It's in LTN show stuff. I just posted the link to my post.
Do you know what got Dean Cain made like mainstream success?
Yeah, that's Tyler Hoechlin from the CW show.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes, he was the host of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
And no, I'm talking the guy above him, who also played the Atom in Legends of Tomorrow.
Holy fucking movie credit. He has been in everything.
Dean Cain? Yeah.
Dean Cain has literally been in everything.
Dean Cain does not turn down roles.
No.
And he does a good enough job to keep getting them. So that's saying something.
He does a lot of religious movies.
Here lately, yeah.
Really answered the question of the post because my only Superman experience is with Henry Cavill because I am a Batman girl, so I've never seen the Christopher Reeve
I'm a
one.
Batman boy, but Smallville was great, at least for the first couple seasons.
I was too young to.
And it's a real shame that Chloe ended up starting a sex cult in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing that happened.
Which is fucking like, you hear about Disney folks losing their. She started a sex cult and was involved in human trafficking. Like,
yeah.
The fuck. I don't remember her real name, but it made me sad because she was always my favorite.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm still in some Henry Cavill shit. Speaking of Henry Cavill, well, former roles, we do have a teaser trailer that came out, I think yesterday, for season 4 of The Witcher that has Liam Hemsworth as Geralt. Which I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about that. I'm gonna have to give it a chance.
Season 1 of The Witcher?
No, I mean
this is
season
where the show
4
starts
of
for
The
me.
Witcher.
No, this is where the show
again,
starts
with your
for me.
weird fucking bias against Henry Cavill, you're missing out on such an amazing show.
Look, I actually don't have anything against Henry Cavill, but I
don't
have to
believe
continue
that,
this for the bit.
Is this the fucking Jimmy Kimmel, Matt Damon beef, which might be the greatest beef on of television history? For years, he would be like, "We're gonna have Matt Damon on, but we ran out of time." And it was just this thing that went on for like 5 or 6 years. It's so fucking funny. If you guys haven't seen any of the beef with Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon, it's hilarious.
Look, when Leno stopped hosting, I stopped watching. That's not true. When Leno stopped hosting, I watched Conan host, and then Leno took his job back.
Then Conan had a better show.
The late show with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, but then
featuring
he had Conan
Max
on TBS
Weinberg and the Weinberg 7.
Shout out to Max Weinberg's son, who I wish was still the drummer of Slipknot, but he's not.
What's his name? Jamie?
Jay Weinberg. Fucking savage of a drummer.
But to be fair, his dad's played with everybody and their brother.
His dad was most famous with Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Let's see. We have a Rings of Power season 2 teaser that came out.
I'm so excited for that. I haven't seen the teaser yet.
And neither have I.
I'm worried. Okay, so watching the trailers for the first season gave away so much.
It really
of the first season. I've kind of been avoiding watching the teaser for season 2.
If I'm being honest, I waited to watch it with you because the only person I was like, Dave and I are gonna because we watched all of season 1 together.
All of season 1 together. And the fucked up thing is I think we watched all of it separate and together.
No, I only watched the episodes with you. I waited for you.
No. I watched them with you, and then I watched them again.
Okay. Yeah, see, I only watched them the one time with you, because we would watch them day of.
But I also tend to be the guy that goes through things at like 25% speed.
Don't watch a movie trailer with Dave off stream. It's a fucking 30-minute process.
But
watch a 2-minute video.
Find out a lot. Look, I'm just okay. New rock stars, hit me up. I'm willing to write and do analysis for you guys. Because that'll fund some of the stuff we're doing here. I love those guys though. They actually do a Okay, Eric Voss goes out on crazy fucking limbs, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'll put it that
does.
way.
A little bit. He kind of
because he thought it was Mephisto.
To be fair, Dave, we also thought it was Mephisto.
Okay, but only for like the first 3 episodes. But only for like the first 3 episodes. He rode that train until like the second to last episode.
Bro, we also thought the next big bad was Null, and we were very far.
Okay, so hang on a second. We were only kind of wrong.
Well, we will get to Marvel stuff. We do have Marvel stuff to talk.
No. This isn't Marvel. Well, it's Marvel. It's Sony Marvel.
Oh,
because they're talking. No. Because they've announced that the next villain in their Spider-Verse is going to be truly terrifying. They only have one villain that they have any right to who can be that level of scary.
Oh, it's Null?
The movie itself?
Null.
Yeah, my dad watched Madam Web and said it was fucking terrible.
It's so bad.
I've heard from everyone it's bad.
He said it's really not the actor's faults either. I was like, no, I can tell it's definitely not.
I told y'all going into that the writing was going to be bad.
Yeah.
I fucking from the first preview, I looked at it and I went, why isn't she 100? Why is she walking around?
Oh, don't worry. They fixed that kind of. Not really.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's
They changed it, but it's the same problem I had with Echo. They changed too much of the power set to try to cater to something they were trying to do. And that's the one problem I have, because the character is so fucking cool of Echo in the comics.
A badass. Yeah.
And they bogged her down so much with this arbitrary fucking bullshit that her power set is tied to now, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Which is what people were bitching about with Miss Marvel, but again, I thought Miss Marvel was great.
No, Ms. Marvel was fine.
Well, for the most part.
So they kept Ms. Marvel's powers the same. How they manifest is different. They completely changed Echo's power and put limitations on it, which it did not previously have. they took her from an Omega level mutant down to like a class 2.
That's true.
And I'm sorry, anytime you change a character enough for that kind of shift in power level, fuck you. It's the same thing everybody was mad about with the Scarlet Witch until they realized, oh, she's still coming into her power with WandaVision, and then they put her where she should be.
Well, you could tell it wasn't until WandaVision where you actually saw her understand the full extent of her power, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really was that or Multiverse of Madness. Because holy shit. If we had that Scarlet Witch when Thanos was attacking, bruh.
Well, I
Can you
mean, she
imagine
almost
if
took
that
him out by
Scarlet Witch
herself.
was on Ultron's side?
He did almost take him out, but yeah, also that's true too. Imagine if oh,
I mean, she also couldn't be called Scarlet Witch until WandaVision because of Fox.
yeah, that's true.
So they couldn't give her the name Scarlet Witch, but they could refer to her as the Scarlet
The
Witch
Scarlet Witch.
because that's a description and not a name. Semantics.
Very true.
But they kind of shied away from all of it just to avoid the fucking beef.
Lost.
Yeah,
Which
it's the smart
I
move.
don't blame them. Yeah. Hey, let's not fight with Fox because we're gonna try to buy him out.
Oh yeah. Well, we do have some Marvel stuff to talk about. Real quick though, we want to give a shout out to Justin and Haley Bieber on their baby announcement. Exciting for them. Good to see Biebs becoming a good guy. Like he was a
Becoming an
shithead for a long
adult.
time. Yeah.
You can go
He's a
and
kid.
love yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
he
so
was a
super
dumb kid.
happy. Yeah. Exactly. And like, I'm glad to see that things are going well. And dude, like watching him at the NHL All, he was like a little kid in the candy store.
It wasn't you,
He
Bree.
warmed. What? Oh, did my
Well,
mic cut
you
out?
said like seeing him at the NHL All-Star game.
Oh, my mic cut out.
Badly.
Yikes! No, I was saying he looked like a kid in the candy store. Just like he was out skating with the players, just thoroughly enjoying it. To where like probably 6-7 years ago, you wouldn't have caught him in that sort of light. So no, super happy for them. That's a big thing. So
I'm glad he fucking calmed down and stopped trying to prove to everybody how fucking cool he is. Yeah. Because he's so much cooler now that he no longer cares and just has a good time with shit like that. Yeah. Than when he was like,
he realizes he's an adult.
Right.
He doesn't care anymore about being cool.
Right.
Because now he's just cool.
Like me. But different.
Yeah. Just like
Look, I felt it was going to be a good like sound, and we need to get that Foley in.
We do. The last thing we want to talk about, the news came out like a week or two ago. But we have a release date for the new, or the 5th time they've changed the name of Agatha All Along, which will
Actually,
be
it might have another new name. Hang on, I'm looking to verify.
Because it was the Lion and something else, and then it got changed to Agatha.
Oh, yeah, it was Agatha and the Wardrobe. Okay, they did do that for funsies. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've changed it like 5 times, I think. But September 18th.
I wasn't sure which one of those was the most recent, Bree. Was my thing. Was the Wardrobe one or the All Along? So the All Along is the most recent. All right.
The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of that bitch.
Yes.
The 2-episode premiere will be on September 18th, and then it will be released weekly until November 6th.
And as always, a week after the episodes air, you can expect a breakdown from us.
Absolutely.
And our massive cocks. Bree's is bigger than all of ours.
Bree and her massive lady.
Massive lady balls.
I think the most exciting part about this is that Catherine Hahn is gonna reprise her role as.
Oh yeah, I
Listen,
love Catherine
I
Hahn.
fucking love Catherine Hahn,
and she was so
amazing.
fucking funny as Agatha. Like,
oh, she's great.
She, you.
One exciting thing is that we're finally getting Aubrey Plaza in the MCU, which is all I've wanted.
Wait, who is Aubrey Plaza playing?
She plays Rio Vidal, a warrior witch in Harkness's coven who wields a dagger. I just want her to be sarcastic as fuck. That's the only thing I want.
But then
I
she'll
love
just
Aubrey
be
Plaza.
herself.
I know.
She'll just be playing herself.
Oh my god.
And
Apparently
it is
we have
rumored.
confirmation that we're gonna get Hulkling.
It's also rumored that we're finally going to get an answer about Scarlet Witch's whereabouts because people have been fighting since Multiverse of Madness was released about if she's dead or not. So we're supposed to get an answer.
Three things. One, because of how they've set up the MCU, she actually can't be dead because they've made Nexus beings all but immortal.
That's true. That is true.
And they deadass said she was a Nexus being in the same breath as essentially saying Nexus beings are immortal.
Yeah.
Two, she caused the explosion that allegedly killed her, and you think she wasn't able to set some shit up to keep herself safe? Are you?
Yeah.
What? Also, you see that red like spark of energy right before it all comes crumbling down.
Uh-huh. And I'm sorry, but if she can wipe an entire town's mind, teleporting 6 feet to the left? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, when I was watching the movie, I wasn't like, oh no, she's dead. Like I got out of the theater and was like, oh, I love Wanda. I can't wait to see her again.
I can't wait to see her again. Exactly. I can't wait to see where they bring her back.
I'm super happy that Deborah Jo Rupp is coming back as Sharon Davis, famously played Kitty Foreman in that 70s. That's cool that she's coming back.
So some behind the scenes info about Aubrey Plaza's casting in this show. Aubrey Plaza's role as Rio Vidal in Agatha All Along overlapped with her role of WoW Platinum in Megalopolis during the show's last 2 weeks of filming. However, as both projects were shot on the same lot, Plaza was able to do both without many difficulties.
What a legend. Shout out to Aubrey Plaza. Also, I love how we Joe Locke as Billy Kaplan, a familiar. So is this how we get Billy introduced?
That's the theory that people have been going with. I kind of preferred the younger, but I know they kind of have to age him up for the Young Avengers thing to work.
Actually, they don't, because the oldest versions of them from a few years ago are now teenagers.
Yeah.
They're like 15.
Well, his description is, quote, a gay teen with a dark sense of humor.
Yeah, that's Billy.
Miles Gutierrez Riley will be playing Billy's boyfriend, which, for anyone who knows,
in
the comics is Hulkling.
It's Hulkling. And we've already seen... We haven't seen Hulkling yet.
No, we saw Scar.
I wonder if they're replacing Scar with... Or replacing Hulkling with Scar. Because those characters are from different story arcs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting to see.
I would like to... There's a quote from Aubrey about her dual casting. I would literally go from one to the other and would put on my WoW wig and my WoW costume, and then the next day I would go to the Agatha set and I'd be dressed as a warrior witch with a dagger and stuff. At one point, when I was dressed in the Marvel character, I snuck into the Megalopolis set and started harassing Giancarlo Esposito and Adam and everyone. It was absolutely insane. And I'm like, yes.
This is why everyone loves her.
Yeah, no. And that is a quote from her. I'm excited. I'm excited for Agatha All Along. All right. So one big thing I expect from this, because there's a character that nobody's talked about since WandaVision with any real meaning.
Who?
Where the fuck is Vision?
Oh, thought you were gonna say
Vision's
Mr. Bone.
dead.
No, the White Vision. The reanimated Vision left at the end of Wanda. Where the fuck did he go? No, he didn't die. He just left. No,
he flew off.
He just
hasn't
left.
Been hurt something.
That's true.
And Vision, White Vision, Vision after him and Wanda split up in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Starts the West Coast Avengers, or is on the West Coast Avengers, but also has an android wife and children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I have heard of this.
Yeah.
So I'm almost wondering if we haven't heard from him because most of this shit takes place on the East Coast and he fucked off to like Sacramento.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I expect we'll find out what happened to him primarily because he's a real useful tool and Agatha knows he exists.
Dave out here about
Agatha
to make
also
me re-up
knows
my fucking Marvel Unlimited subscription. Just start reading a shit ton of comics.
Agatha also knows that if she can get a hold of Vision, she can manipulate Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have a haunting suspicion that where the fuck is Vision is going to be one of the, like, core driving points of this story. And one of the reasons that we don't really have a speculation on who the villain's going to be is because they haven't announced a particular person being on the cast list.
Let's see. What is Paul Bettany up to?
Uh-huh.
What's Paul Bettany up to right now? Also, I love him in everything he's been in.
Oh, yeah. No, Paul Bettany.
He is.
Favorite Paul Bettany role? Go.
Oh, fuck.
It's just Jarvis.
That's a good one. I really liked him in Priest. That movie was fucking awesome.
I liked him.
Honestly, Legion might be my favorite.
Are you going to say A Knight's Tale?
I liked him as Geoffrey Chaucer in A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, I do love A Knight's Tale. That's a great one.
But I also love him as Jarvis. Hey, Paul, if you want to be the voice of Darwin, my real life Jarvis, let me know.
You know, he did play fucking Charles Darwin in 2000 in a movie. Yeah, no, I love Paul Bettany. I like how Dave goes for the obvious, and I'm over here deep cut movies that I like of his. No one's seen fucking Legion. That movie was awesome.
I saw
yeah, but so was A Knight's Tale. And he's one of the least appreciated characters in that movie, but he's, in my opinion, one of the best written characters in that movie.
Heath Ledger's in that movie. That's why everyone loves Heath Ledger.
Lords, ladies, and all of you not sitting on a cushion.
Yeah, no. So I'm very, very interested in what happens here because it looks like they're painting Agatha as a hero.
Protagonist.
Or
protagonist. Not hero.
It's all relative. You knew what I meant, right? There you go.
Look, I'm just saying, you guys are saying lots of people are villains that I don't think Thanos was a villain. I think Thanos was a misguided anti-hero.
Dave, who's your favorite villain besides the Joker?
My favorite. The Joker isn't even close to my favorite villain.
Lex Luthor?
My favorite villain as depicted on screen, if we're talking like comic villains, has to be Tom Hardy's depiction of Bane.
Oh, it's so good.
The writing for him is so good. The acting is so good. People don't like the voice. I do like the voice. I'm sorry. If you've been on a respirator your whole fucking life, you're going to talk a little fucking funny.
My favorite thing about Tom Hardy's version Bane. If that voice didn't exist, it wouldn't have allowed them to use that voice for the Harley show, and it would not be nearly as fucking funny because Bane is my favorite character in that show.
My favorite Harley character in the Harley Quinn show is Poison Ivy, but I'm always down for a hot redheaded lesbian.
My favorite is Harley Quinn because anything Harley Quinn's in, she's going to be my favorite.
That's fair. I don't know. Clayface is pretty good in that show too.
So I felt Harley Quinn as a favorite went without saying because she's the title character. She gets the most screen time. She gets the best lines.
And she's voiced by Kaylee Cuoco. Like, I love Kaylee Cuoco.
No, it's Harley Quinn.
I also love her, but I hate trying to say her name because I just say Cuoco.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, it's like Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. Fucks his...
Good old RQ?
RC.
I know.
RQ.
But it's funnier if you say RQ.
Say RQ. Who the fuck? Rivers Cuomo. It doesn't start with... It doesn't? Are you sure?
Are you sure it doesn't?
Sure.
I love it. I love it when you like assign the wrong letter to a word and then people legitimately stop and think about it for a minute if you say it confidently enough. Like I spelled knife the other day to my mom, N-I-F-E. And she looked at me and she's like,
apparently we're getting a Vision show.
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest, yeah. When's Vision Quest supposed to start?
2026, it looks like.
Uh-huh.
When is Armor Wars happening? Because they said it was canceled, but then somebody else was like, no, it's not canceled.
I haven't heard anything about it being canceled.
Okay. So my understanding is there's nothing official on it, but rumor mill has it that they're moving it from a TV show to a movie.
That's what I heard.
Which I feel like Armor Wars makes more sense as a movie.
Yeah,
because if you try to do 8 episodes of people arguing about that kind of shit, because and to explain, and in my understanding, to explain Armor Wars, think Civil War, but lots of people involved and more scary government people involved trying to be in control of the scary suits of armor. So Iron Man 2, but again,
the only question I want answered is how long has Rhodey been a Skrull? Because
no, I can answer that question. I can answer that question. Rhodey was picked up after the funeral.
You know what? That makes sense.
I've also heard people say because he's still in that hospital gown. I've heard people say that he was picked up after Civil War and he doesn't know Tony's dead. And I'm like, please don't. I don't want that.
No. There have been interviews with the fucking writers and everybody involved in all of that shit who are very much steering the community away from that line of thinking. They're not giving any exact times because they're not allowed to, but that wasn't the impression they intended to give.
That's what a lot of people believe is that he was picked up after Civil War.
One of the explanations for him being in a hospital gown that makes a lot more sense to me is he's still getting frequent treatments and surgeries.
Yeah.
One of the easiest places to pick him up when he's least defended is when he's unconscious, getting ready to have surgery.
Yeah.
War Machine isn't going to fight back if he's asleep.
Yeah, because the main two reasons that people think he was picked up after Civil War is because the nightgown, the hospital gown, and then the second reason is because when he falls out of the thing, they're having to hold him up so his legs don't work. But in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he could walk just fine. So that's what a lot of people. And I'm like,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So you know the shit he was wearing on the outside of his legs after Civil War?
Yeah.
You think Tony didn't figure out a way to make a smaller set that he could fucking hide and look right in?
Or you don't think Tony hasn't figured out a way to fix his fucking problem, period?
No. Part of Tony's last suit is what? Nanotech.
Yeah.
What was his reason for focusing on nanotech? Helping fix Rhodey.
That's true.
If Tony's that involved in helping fix Rhodey, a Skrull cannot emulate an injury like that. They can take their appearance, but they can't be physically broken in the same way.
Yeah.
It would have come up. There's no fucking way. Because Tony was involved in all of his fucking treatment.
Oh, 100%.
Looking at x-rays and everything else. Like, know that.
That's his best friend.
So there's no way that it wasn't Rhodey at any point before Tony died, because Tony was involved in his care. Because Tony felt fucking responsible. And that's one of Tony's biggest driving forces. If he feels responsible for fucking something up, he fixes it or tries to.
Also, I feel like Tony and Rhodey have known each other long enough that if that wasn't Rhodey, Tony would have picked up on it.
Tony would have
is
known.
so fucking smart and has known that man for a long time. He would have fucking known. He wouldn't have immediately said Skrull, but he would have known something was off.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth. No fucking swearing.
Fuck you. Language.
Did Cap just say language?
Like that would be too fucking sad. Like there's been a lot of sad shit in Marvel movies. Him not knowing Tony's dead and having to come to that realization later is too fucking far.
I'm gonna be real.
Smart enough to not do that.
I know at least myself, and I assume pretty much everyone would know if like their best friend was not themselves. Like that's some shit you'd pick up on pretty quickly if you're observant. So yeah, I feel like Tony would have known. So I feel
and it's not like they only got together for Avengers shit. Like Tony and Rhodey hung out.
They worked together. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Also, didn't Rhodey get dusted in the snap?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, "No, that was the Skrull," and I'm like, "No,
that's too many layers deep. They don't even mix shit up like that in the comics if they can avoid it, because it gets too fucking confusing for other writers.
Because the Skrull were also affected in the blip too, so.
But apply Hanlon's razor to it, or not Hanlon's razor, Occam's razor to it.
I knew
the simplest answer in this case is the real one, and that's it couldn't have been Rhodey for all of the previously mentioned things. Eliminate the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, must be true.
And also, I feel like he gets injured at some point. I feel like they would have noticed that the blood wasn't red.
Yeah. Like he was too high profile to be operating as War Machine and be a Skrull.
Yeah. It wouldn't have worked.
And he was still operating as War Machine after his legs were fucked up, because the suit kind of took care of his legs for him. So...
Also, you notice how when he was a Skrull, or towards the time where you would assume he was a Skrull, you never saw him as War Machine.
You know why?
Because they can't operate the suit.
No. Because it's DNA coded.
It's DNA coded, yeah.
The only people who can operate that suit are Tony and Rhodey. Because Rhodey can operate any of Tony's suits. Because he's the only person in the government Tony trusts.
Yup. Yeah, so
we're safe on that.
Yeah, I feel like that question got answered pretty fast. I'm not surprised that out of all of the higher profile characters that was a Skrull, that wasn't surprising.
No. Rhodey is the only one who's convenient to pick up, and that's because he is still getting surgeries and treatments, etc., etc., etc. Like they're still working on him.
Right.
But it didn't make sense to pick him up until after Tony was gone, because they knew Tony would immediately know something was fucking up.
Yep.
I don't know. It makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah, no, I feel like cooler heads will
prevail.
Really prevail, I guess. Yeah. Other than that, I would say the only thing we're waiting on is Deadpool Wolverine, which we get closer and closer, and I am one excited boy for that movie.
Okay, so news. The production team, writers, director, etc., have said that this isn't a Wolverine that we've seen in previous properties, which means it's not the Wolverine from the original X-Men
Logan?
trilogy. It's not the Wolverine from Logan, which is a different universe than the trilogy, because they prevented that in Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
It's a different Logan. And this
So
is one who
that
failed.
answers a question. Because my mom was watching Deadpool 2 last night because she hadn't seen it. She went and saw the first one in theaters, and my mom doesn't typically do superhero movies, but she does like Deadpool. So she asked
Everyone
me,
likes
she was like,
Deadpool.
do I need to watch Logan first? And I was like, I don't know. I don't
He
think you
doesn't.
need to.
So
You
she
might need
doesn't
to watch
need to watch
X-Men.
Logan. One movie I would recommend she watch, just because it paints a pretty good picture of who the Hugh Jackman Wolverine is, because it differs a little from the comics, is The Wolverine.
Oh shit, we get Shatterstar as a character that's coming back.
I think we're getting Psylocke too.
I don't know. It says Brianna Hildebrand will reprise her role as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yukiya will be in it. Colossus will be in it.
I think I'll have to watch the trailers again, but I think there was a barely on-screen purple flash I saw that immediately made me think of Psylocke. Psylocke is the tall brunette in spandex who makes blades with her hands. She's super fucking cool.
Olivia Munn in Apocalypse.
Yes, but
Yeah.
hopefully not Olivia Munn or the version of the character from Apocalypse, because Olivia Munn was fine. The writing was so fucking bad, I don't think I could take her seriously as the character again.
Listen, all I know is we get Dogpool, and that's all I give a shit about.
I liked Apocalypse. But like the writing for Psylocke specifically was so shit. She had no personality. And I'm like, what? You cast Olivia? You could have cast any random fucking brunette and just took away their lines and had them stand there.
Yeah, don't just cast Olivia fucking Munn.
Right. Congratulations. You whipped out your big dick, it stayed limp, and then you put it away, and we were all sad.
Basically.
Remember Apocalypse? I just remember that my father said that Apocalypse looked like a Power Rangers villain.
Yes, he always has.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, so does Kang. So
That's why he
does
hated it.
Kang does look like a Power Rangers villain.
So
Although,
does
can we talk about how
Galactus.
good the first Power Rangers movie was? Are you shitting me? That movie was insane.
Talking about from the 90s, or are you talking about the new one?
No, the new one I really liked, but the one from the 90s was
both of them.
incredible.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little chat, and maybe a watch party at some point. But Dave has seen the first 6 episodes of the first season of Power Rangers and then was never allowed to watch it again.
We will watch the Power Rangers, Dave. I will binge that shit with you.
My brother and I were doing Kung Fu, and I put him through the coffee table. That is the second time that had happened in my childhood. The first time was the time where we were no longer allowed to watch the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, no, that tracks. I feel like you guys are.
Correct, we are.
My brother and I were just disappointments to our parents, so. Josh, if you're watching, I love you.
Depending
Josh,
on what
if you're watching, go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding.
If we watch Power Rangers, I might get sad, but it'll be fine.
Well, I'm probably gonna get sad too, because rest in peace, Jason David Frank.
Yep, Tommy is my favorite Power Ranger, and I cried. It's the original.
Which one's Tommy?
Original
He's
Green
Ranger. Green Ranger, White Ranger,
Red Ranger, Purple Ranger, not purple,
Homie,
black.
there was no Green or White Ranger when I watched. I watched the
Dave
first
didn't,
6
Dave
episodes.
Didn't get to Tommy.
Oh.
Dave didn't get to Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Power
I
is
knew
nice.
there was a Green Ranger because, you know, all my friends watched Power Rangers.
His thing was a dragon. Oh yeah,
That's
I have an
so
old school
hokey.
Power Rangers T-shirt. Yo,
But
love
to be fair, none of the Bandai Namco shows are very high concept.
No. Well, that's
Because what was the other one with the fucking bugs that looked like Power Rangers that was also Bandai?
no, they Power Rangers isn't Bandai. It's Saban.
Oh, that's right. Bandai did
Yeah.
the one with the it was 3 colorful dudes in like weird beetle.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. I can't think of it off the top of my head now. Also, shout out to Animorph Fire. Jeez. Dave, go to the dying corner.
Dying corner.
You good, champ?
You gonna make it?
Yep.
All right.
It's just hot and humid.
Oh yeah, and say you definitely look like it's a little.
Yeah. Well, it's
And-
humid as shit because it's been raining, but because it's been raining, it's been cool enough that the air conditioner hasn't been running.
Yeah, see, I put mine in the other day.
Yeah.
It's too bad I don't have a behind the scenes video of I putting this in fucking almost dropped. I'm on the second. We decided this at like fucking 9:30 at night. I had just gotten home from work and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be dying. Let's put this in.
The only thing I drop out of windows is people.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's happened at least once that I've talked about on the channel.
That's fair.
Yeah, I put the kid through the window at summer camp, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that kid had it coming.
He really did, though.
Switching
I was also a kid at the
gears.
time, just for...
Yeah. Dave's always been the size of an adult.
That's not true. I was smaller than him.
I don't believe that you've ever been small in your life, Dave.
Okay.
I feel like you were like 5 foot.
I don't believe...
at
I
like
can't
2
say
years
that.
old.
That's so mean.
But
Anyway,
you don't believe
moving
that I've ever
on.
been tall. No, you got to say it now.
Well, I was going to say loved, but...
That's true. That's not just mean. That's just true.
I like how you're like, that's not just mean. It's also mean, but it's true.
But it's true. It's more so true.
Hey, I love you.
No, you don't. You just want
Yes,
my
I do.
personality.
I want your what?
My weird personality. Dave's a collector of personalities.
Well, that's
I'm
true, but
calling
that
you
doesn't
schizophrenic.
mean I don't love you. I used to be schizophrenic. We're okay now.
You know what? As long as you're all okay, you know who else is
Most of us. We don't talk about the guy
schizophrenic
who
is the entirety of the Wu-Tang Clan. All 36 chambers. Is forever.
and the
Anyway,
one
moving
guy
on.
who is the gorillas.
Yeah. And then just Del the Funky Homo Sapien coming to hang out.
Mm-hmm. Finally, someone let me out of my cage.
Oh, dude, shout out to the gorillas. Bree, what is your song of the week?
Song of the week. For some context and backstory, a couple weeks ago, Angel, Noob, and Ricky, and I think that was it, all got me to sit down and watch the entirety of the first season of Has Been Hotel. And I wish I wanted to do the entire soundtrack of that show as my song of the week, but I wanted to pay special focus to a song called Poison by a character named Angel Dust, who is a crackhead porn star. And this song is the lyrics are depressing and sad.
This sounds like Hotel Transylvania Avenue Q'd. I'm here for this shit.
Dude, Hotel Transylvania was a wild movie if you look at it from like not a children's movie.
Yeah.
It's a song that's about the fact that it's kind of forced he's kind of forced into being a porn star, and he doesn't really want to do it, but so he over sexualizes himself to deal with the trauma, and the song is basically about that, but it goes so hard for no reason that you're like, do I want to cry or do I want to jam? I don't know. I am confused.
All of which tracks.
This show also has Keith David in it. I just wanted to point that out. And he
Love
played.
Keith
No.
David.
Time out. Every show has
He's-
Keith David in it. Moving on.
Yeah.
It also has a bunch
so
of
true.
Broadway
I love.
stars that are in
Okay,
it.
I love Keith David, but my two favorite things Keith David has ever been in: Saints Row, because he plays the vice president in Saints Row 4 Reelected, which is great. And I loved him in the Chronicles of Riddick movies.
Seen one of those movies. I don't know which one. I think it was Pitch Black. I don't know.
Okay,
I've seen
question.
them all except no, I have seen.
So it's Pitch Black, then it's Chronicles of
Chronicles of
Riddick,
Riddick.
the cartoon one whose name escapes me, and then it's just Riddick.
Riddick. Yeah.
It was Pitch Black. I don't know.
I for
just
sure
know.
have seen the first two.
Were they on a planet in the dark being chased by
Yes.
monsters?
That's
Yes.
Pitch Black.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
really
because
good.
the cartoon is about the travel between there and another place.
Yeah.
And the third one is about him being pissed off at some guys called necromongers because they ruined his sandwich, basically. He takes over an empire because, like, somebody made him have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
My favorite
it's-
Keith David role is either the Arbiter in Halo or
Ooh, that's another good choice.
Or
The Arbiter and
because
Halo
that'll
or who?
help.
Because your mic cut out again.
Lana's father in Archer.
Oh, okay.
Mine are either Dr. Facilier or this movie that he did. That the movie's not bad. The movie is bad, but he puts in an incredible performance. Is Tales from the Hood 2.
Oh my god, yes.
Keith David, much like Dean Cain, will take about any role you throw at him. Unlike Dean Cain, instead of doing family movies and religious movies, he does movies where he says fuck and has sex.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah.
He plays Satan in fucking Tales from the Hood.
He does play Satan. That's right.
I've never
Love
seen
Keith
that
David.
movie, but I know that because the image of him as Satan is kind of hilarious to me. Because to me, Keith David has always kind of had that, like, the uncle you go to when you're in high school and want to buy weed for the first time sort of vibe.
Yeah, he has a line in this movie that it's very Samuel L. Jackson, where he just leans over to a dude and screams, "Welcome to hell, motherfucker!"
That tracks.
Yeah, that tracks.
Dave, you didn't give me a song of the week, even though I asked you like 12 times over the last 3.
The Pretender by the Foo Fighters.
I love that song.
I do too. In fact, I sent you new lyrics to it.
Ooh, yes, you did.
Did you never read them yet?
Dave, I have been working 12-hour shifts. I will read them as soon
I was going to
as
say
we
you
are
have
done.
2 eyes. Never mind.
I don't have 2 eyes.
You do not
By
have
the way,
2
I
eyes.
have
You
2
have 1 eye.
physical eyes. Only one works. And it's not this one.
No, I was going to say it because it was going to be funny. And then I remembered that you're blind in 1 eye. And I said it anyway because that makes it funnier. Look. A good friend will save you from backing up over the edge of a cliff. A great friend will record it for content.
And one of your best friends will be the one to push you.
Exactly.
Give you the idea.
Or backflip off right next to you.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jackass.
Nah, man,
I'm gonna
Dave's
put this
not
car
here,
inside
man.
my butt.
I'm just gonna not every 5 seconds, but every once in a while, Dave's not here.
Dude, I will fucking disconnect you from this show. Oh, no. Look, if you had to deal with hearing that fucking 10 times a day like I did, because every
Oh,
time I would
I
knock on a fucking door
imagine.
and be like, "Hey, I'm Dave. Dave's not here, man."
Dave's not
Cool.
here,
I'll
man.
say you weren't home then.
That
And
you
I
could
start
thank
walking away
Cheech
like,
and
wait.
Chong.
Good dude. I just fucking just let me do my goddamn job.
You dealt with that. I was just told I had no fucking soul for most of my childhood. Thank you, South Park, for kind of ruining my childhood.
Oh, sir.
All right, yeah, but to be fair, I've also been called ma'am because I have a higher voice than, I guess, most men. I don't know.
But yours is based on voice. They can see you and see that you are clearly a boy. They look at me and immediately go, "Excuse me, sir. What? What?
I don't
I
know
am not a
how.
sir."
I
No.
don't know
I
how.
know how. She is also a giant, and giants are only allowed to be men, apparently.
Because I am at
You
work.
are taller than Dave.
Because I'm at work like this, so they're like, "Oh, we don't see any curves and no hair, and she's giant."
I would never depict you as a. I just because I was gonna say I have eyes.
You have eye.
I have eye.
Yelled at work for using the women's bathroom by a customer.
Would you
Did
tell
you
the
slap
customer to
them?
shut the fuck up?
No, because have you met me?
Yes.
We'll
I
get
walked
you
out of the
learn.
women's yeah, I walked out the women's bathroom and this mom was like, "Oh my God, how dare you use the women's
Why
bathroom?
didn't you
My
just keep
daughter had to
walking?
use it. My daughter was trying to use it and you're using it." And I'm like, "Because I
Did you
had to
show her your
pee."
vagina?
No.
I would have.
I would have been like,
I
"Do you want to see what I got?"
I was just like, "I had to pee." And they're like, "Well, the men's bathroom's over there." I'm not a man. Oh, this generation and blah blah blah. And yeah, I just kind of was like,
I would have
"I'm
looked at her and been
gonna
like,
get
"Do
back
you
to
do you
work."
want to see what I'm working with?"
Oh no,
Or
I wouldn't have even offered to show. I would have just shown.
guess what?
I'm just gonna get back to work.
Anywho, this has gone so far off the rails. What did you say your fucking song of the week was, Dave?
Unironically, The Pretender. By the Foo Fighters.
Jesus.
Thank you for the
Anywho,
unintentional segue, Brie.
yeah.
No,
I mean that's
dude,
a good
okay.
song.
I love the Foo Fighters. I love The Pretender. I rewrote the lyrics to The Pretender to be about surviving in a zombie apocalypse. Because I want to do a like Minecraft style surviving the zombie apocalypse music video with clips from Deceased Craft and probably the Nocturnal SMP. We're hoping maybe to get that started by the end of June.
Well, my song of the week is not by the Foo Fighters. It's by a band called Bring Me the Horizon. The song's called Kool-Aid. It hits. It's such a good song. Yeah, I love Bring Me the Horizon. Fucking angsty emo kid in me is still huge into Bring Me the Horizon. Bree, your music corner this week.
So I lost the type up I did of my music corner, but it's not she's my artist this week isn't I don't have really a lot to say, so it's fine. I'll wing it. I'll just pull up Wikipedia. All right. So my music corner this week is a female rapper by the name of Flo Milli. She is huge on TikTok. All of her songs have kind of had a clip trend, and that's where most of us found her. She rose to fame in 2018 due to her song Beef Flow Mix. And in 2019, she released a song called In the Party, and which received platinum certification by the RIAA. She signed a recording contract with a Yeah, with a recording studio called 94 Sounds, an imprint of RCA Records in late 2019. Do 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 do. Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I feel that because you know how many times when I was actually musician of the week that I lost them?
Look, all I'm
Happened a
gonna
few
say
times.
is
She
she
was
said beef flow mix, and I'm like, hang on, isn't there a song by somebody called Beef Curtain?
I don't think so.
She was nominated for Best New Artist at the BET Awards in 2021. In 2022 she released her debut album. You still here, ho? She- Last year she released an extended version with 3 additional tracks. Where is the thing that I wanted to talk about, but I can't find it? She has worked with artists like Say Grace on the remix of a song called Boys Ain't Shit. She appeared in the music video for G-Eazy's single Down featuring Lotto. She did a collab with the artist Mona Leo. And she was also nominated for Best New Artist in 2020 at the BET Awards. Yep, and that's about it.
Is it? All right. Well, check out Flo Milli, I guess.
She is incredible.
Oh, if she has Bree's seal of approval, then I will gladly her out.
You're the only
Dave,
person who has ever said that.
I am.
Yes, most people tell me I have terrible taste in music and movies.
Did you tell any of them to shut up?
Do you want to borrow a knife so you can stab them?
Like it sounds like you just need better people to surround yourself with that aren't like stupid.
I was told by a 62-year-old that I have terrible taste in movies just because I said that I appreciate the movie Alien more than I like it. Because like I've said, I don't really like 70s horror. Which I don't think
Even though
even think Alien came out in the 70s, so I
it
don't know
didn't.
why.
Also, Alien isn't a horror movie.
It's more
It's
of a it's
it's
technically
It's a
we
it's a
sci-fi
horror.
thriller at best.
we
It's
count it
classified as
in
horror.
we
Yeah,
count
it's
it as
classified as
sci-fi
horror.
horror. Just like Predator, we count as an
Predator is
action
also
sci-fi
classified
horror.
as horror.
Wait, who the fuck thinks Predator is scary?
It's
Not
it's
scary.
classified as horror.
Yeah, most horror movies aren't scary, but they're still horror.
They're still they're still considered horror. I'm probably gonna watch. That's not true. I did watch, well, fairly recently. I did watch Immaculate.
Speaking of stupid people, though, my honorable mention this week is the Bare Naked Ladies.
Fucking Bare Naked Ladies.
Because I love the Bare Naked Ladies. Look, they too much. They did too much. They did children's albums under the name Bare Naked Ladies. They didn't even change their name. They're like, we released a kids album. It's called Snack Time. And then they released like 5 more. And they're all fantastic because they feature songs like A is for Isle, B is for Delium, C is for Czar, and if you see him, would you mind telling him? Or, I woke up this morning and everything was different. Something was strange in the air. Woke up this morning and everything was different. I knew that the ninjas had been there. What the fuck are you guys on? And can I get some?
Yeah, do you want to share?
Please share.
The word
They got
naked
another
was in the
one.
name, I wouldn't have been able to listen to them just because the naked part in the name.
Right.
Yeah, it's because you grew up in the South with a religious white woman as your mother.
But they also did, if I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I would buy me a house. I would buy you a house.
Not
Or
buying anyone
the
a
one that
fucking house.
the one that everyone knows. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Drop your eyes to the side and said I'm angry. 2 days since the afternoon.
They have a song where he's just like singing and then he just goes, I just made you say underwear. It's like, yes.
That's
Shout
also
out
If
to-
I Had $1 Million.
Those are two different songs.
No. He does it in If I Had $1 Million too.
Oh, yeah.
In the stage
I was
version.
like, wait, yeah, two different songs. But yeah, no, shout out to Barely Naked Ladies. They're great.
And they just have fun.
Oh,
They
yeah.
give zero fucks. They just have fun. That's all they've ever done. That's all they'll ever do. They're a bunch of crazy Canadian assholes, and I'm here for it.
From Scarborough, Ontario.
And their writing is fucking... like, they are far more musically talented than they gave themselves credit for with their name and the shit they write about.
Fair.
Speaking of people writing things, Chris, who's our musician of the week?
So our musician of the week is someone I'm surprised we haven't done yet.
Kinda same.
It is the quote-unquote British-American band. It was formed in 19... They are called Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone at least knows who Stevie Nicks is. Breeze laying back. I feel we discussed you've listened to them, right, Bree?
Couldn't name a song, but I'm sure if you said, "Oh, they're most well known," I'm sure I would have heard it. I've asked 3 people in the last 3 weeks, "Tell me everything you know about Fleetwood Mac," and the answer's been the same. Why? Because they're the musician of the week. Why?
What do you mean? Why?
The Rumors album alone, I think, earns them a spot in the Rock and
They're
Roll
a
Hall of
fucking they've been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 1998.
No, I know, but like I'm
Yeah.
saying, like one album of theirs was okay. Let's put it this way: Rumors is their best album.
Yes.
Like I've heard the name Stevie Nicks, but nothing comes to the brain, and I'm sure I would have heard one of their songs in like a movie or something, but
You've heard their music somewhere. There's no question.
They have all kinds of shit in movies.
Yeah, either you've heard
Dreams,
them or
Go Your Own Way,
Nick's
The
song.
Chain.
James just naming the Rumors album.
Fucking Never Going Back Again. Say You Love Me is great.
They released their most recent album in 2019. What an impressive span. And I think they got back. Yeah, they got back together in 97. Which is crazy. That's longevity. Stevie Nicks is a very...
But if you don't love me now, then you'll never love me again.
I've heard that song in a trailer before, but I can't think of what trailer.
It's been in a few that I know of.
Well,
I couldn't tell you what they are either, but I know I've heard it in trailers a few times.
Maybe it was a car commercial. I think it was a car commercial.
They use Fleetwood Mac in a lot of car commercials, though it's...
Yes, they do.
Wait, is this the song? I think it is.
I can't hear you. You'll have to speak into the microphone. Yeah, I still don't know why. I don't know why.
Little Lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies is also Fleetwood Mac.
Yep, that's been in like so many things. You've probably heard that at the fucking grocery store.
Yes.
That's a
grocery store. There's people there and it's scary.
Oh my god. That's right. I give up on trying to get Bree to learn about anything. I give up.
I have social anxiety. I DoorDash everything.
Oh, so do I. But I also work with the public, and sometimes you got to go places to go. Yeah, Stevie Nicks'
You can
voice is
go
so
your own
it's so
way.
unique.
Go
Yeah.
your own way.
Definitely heard that in commercials.
Yep. Yeah, no. I love Fleetwood Mac. Like genuinely. I just
fun. I'm not a huge I'm not like a huge fan of theirs. I honestly never really got into them recently. But they it's a band that has I don't want to say flown under the radar, but they're one of those bands that like once you think of them, you're like, oh shit, that's right. They had like so many. They're not like an AC Aerosmith of one like the known bands that you just when you think of like 70 those are the bands that are like in your head you kind of forget about Fleetwood.
right, and I put them in with like Steve Miller Band.
Oh yeah, and I love Steve Miller Band.
Which also is like
Bob
his songs
Seger.
are known, but people don't think of Steve Miller Band.
It's
you know what I mean?
Same with Seeger. People kind of
Same
forget
with
a lot
Bob
of Bob
Seger.
Seger shit.
Same with honestly, fucking some of Bob Dylan's stuff.
Bob Dylan wrote every song ever, so like that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan Bob Dylan is music. Um I I don't know, it's one of they're again just one of these bands that yep.
This is for our benefit. Chat can't hear this.
Oh, okay. Um yeah, no, they're one of those bands that just fucking killed it and never really strayed away from their like own sound. They always just stuck to their guns. And that's what I mean, this is again a far cry from when we started artists really change their
Right.
that really wasn't until like fairly that's actually a thing.
There are a few outliers, though, one of which being Metallica, whose sound changed every album, but that's not because they were actively changing their sound. That's because they were actively continuing to get better at what they did and
I feel like
continuing to listen to new music, and their sound evolved because of it.
Well, and I feel like the perfect example of like that school vibe of like or of just an artist who drastically changed the sound. David Bowie. When he started putting music out, like all the Iggy Stardust stuff, people crucified him for that. Yeah. And that's I think some of his best work. Look at Rush in the 80s when they started having a more people got pretty
some
upset
people
about
hated
that
it, and
too.
some people loved it. I'm one of those people who's like, well, and the thing is, they evolved with their music the same as Metallica did. You know what I mean? Yeah. Metallica didn't change to try to suit the masses. Metallica changed to try to please themselves. But
yeah,
this is a band who James Hetfield disliked the poor quality of his singing so much, he paid for professional singing lessons because he wanted to be better at it.
Yeah.
And he sounded fine. But he's like, no, we can do better. And everyone else, they keep practicing their instruments. I need to fucking get this instrument up to snuff with everybody else. Sort of thing. And I'm like, fucking here for that. Let's go, bud. Right. And I don't know, like it's weird because I usually listen to heavier stuff, strange electronic shit like Electric Callboy.
Dude, I fucking love Electric Callboy though.
But like like weird genre bend stuff. Like I love electro swing. All that being said, Fleetwood Mac is soft rock.
Yeah.
At best. But they're probably the earmark example of what soft rock in the 70s, good soft rock in the 70s sounded like.
Yeah. Well, they won a Grammy for Album of the Year with Rumors.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Rumors continues to win awards even to this day.
Oh yeah. How many albums did they sell?
I think it went like quadruple platinum.
Rumors has sold over 40 million, 21 times platinum.
Okay.
40 million copies worldwide.
So
It ranks
they're
7th on Rolling Stone's list of 500.
yeah, no,
One is
it's
it fucking, which would be the least shocking thing.
but like the song Dreams, for instance. And the thing is, like, a lot of their stuff is still relevant, like in lyrics too. The
Right.
opening line of Dreams, which is off the Rumors album, is, "So there you go again, you say you want your freedom. Who am I to keep you down?"
Okay.
In other words, if you want to go, fucking go, bud.
Yeah.
Bye.
For those curious on what number 1 was on list 500, it is the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Band.
God, that's like their worst album.
And the only good song on that album, I think personally, Sky with Diamonds.
Which is a song about doing drugs, by the way, for those of you who don't know. But to be
Yeah.
fair, I think most of that album was about doing drugs.
Yeah, and it was written by John Lennon, so I feel like that's not. Well, he was the
Did it
vocalist on it, but
did it come out in the 80s?
no.
Oh,
John Lennon was
because
dead by 1980.
Yeah, I would say John Lennon
oh
was dead in the 80s, by at least the
oh
80s. It came out in
because
1957.
the thing I know about the 80s is everybody was on cocaine. Everybody did drugs in the
Oh yeah, no,
80s.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is about LSD.
I know.
Everyone in the 60s did drugs. Same with the 70s. Also the 90s.
And the 80s. And the 90s.
And the 80s. Everyone
And the
does.
2000s.
A lot of people do drugs, yeah.
And the 2010s.
Yeah, everybody's on drugs, just
And
all the time.
yeah. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, what's that Avenue Q song?
I am very shocked that that is number 1. Out of
Yeah,
all
because
of
it's such
out
a
of all of
terrible
their
fucking
bands.
album. Like, I fully expected a Beatles album to be at the top, right?
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
not.
another one that's at the top is Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Shout out to Marvin Gaye.
Let's get it on.
Hmm?
You said Marvin Gaye, so the only thing in my head was "Let's Get It On."
That's
Yeah.
really everyone thinks about, yeah. The Beatles have 9 albums that on that top 5 or 500.
Fleetwood Mac probably has just the one, maybe two. Maybe two.
Uh they're not even at the top here. Uh
Oh. Okay.
are they not even on this list? They have to be somewhere on this list.
Suggestion for music of the week for next week. Can I make it real quick
Oh,
before I forget?
sure. Sure.
The Offspring.
I like The Offspring.
Well, and they were also in that weird, like, transition from, like, whatever the fuck they were doing into, like, the new metal stuff, because them and Limp Bizkit, there are a lot of similarities there in how they structure their sound.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I hate to say it, The Offspring to me always kind of sounded like ska with hip hop vibes.
Which is
Except they don't
similar
use
to what.
horns.
Yeah. Well, that's similar to No Doubt, who is just ska with pop punk, with like punk sounds.
Yeah, but it's there are so many weird things happened in the
How
90s
have we not
in
done No
music.
Doubt?
Oh, that's easy. I'm legally obligated to tell you that I'm not allowed to talk about the lead singer of that band.
Do you not like Gwen Stefani?
I love the lead singer of that band. I'm not legally allowed to say that person's name.
Oh God, why?
I don't know. It's
What
fun
is
to give you
happening
shit.
right now?
I'm being an insane person. You're welcome. No,
also,
we
I love
should
how we
100%
joked
do
about.
No Doubt.
I love how we joked about doing a short show today, and we have hit our 3-hour mark.
Hey, get fucked. No, seriously though, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, I really should too, because I have to work 2 12-hour shifts. So I think that is about all we have time for. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, thank you guys for bearing with us on our time change today. I had an opportunity to do Miles on Motorsports live, which was really cool. If you guys aren't checking them out on Wednesdays, definitely check them out. Miles is a good friend of mine. And hopefully, maybe over the summer, he and I might do some YouTube exclusive LTN stuff, which would be super. If you haven't followed any of our socials, definitely do that. Come hang out with us in Discord. We're in the server all the time. If you guys want to check out the merch, that as well, we have a lot of stuff there. Make sure you are keeping up on Fridays with Pucked Up. We are really close to the Stanley Cup Finals, and that'll be fun to see if Dave is going to do a recording for us when the Stanley Cup Finals
Dude,
start.
I haven't even had time to look at anything other than the
Honestly,
little bit I talked to you about the other day.
The only thing, that's why the only thing we said is just one, the matchups are there. That's all we want from it. D Danger and I have all officially banned Dave from live recordings from the show, because last year he literally, down to the perfect T, predicted Stanley Cup Finals. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. But that's all on YouTube, as well as more LTN Media vault release of some stuff of a series that we're. So stay tuned. No, that's for the other site, Dave.
No. I was the first one we did, the show.
Oh my god, yes. Well, those
Not
were
the
pretty
first
cool
one.
because
The first one we tried to do and skipped.
no, that was the second one.
Right. Racism Simulator. I'm sorry.
Oh
Santa
my
Claus
God.
versus the Devil. It's so bad. It's so
Did
bad,
I tell
guys.
you my mom watched that movie and I told her not to. She watched almost all of it and then goes, I can't do it. I was like, no, shut that off. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because it's racist
That movie
as shit
was
against everyone.
crazy.
Which makes it kind of not racist at all. Maybe?
I don't know if it works like that.
Now I
don't know
really
if it
feel
works
like a
that.
pirate. What the fuck is going on with this eye?
All right, Popeye.
Yar.
I be having a southern Shout out, Red. Any parting words before we leave these wonderful? And
yeah, we're
I
waiting
apologize
Zach,
for whatever the
so get
fuck
fucked.
Dave has had. I want to apologize for Dave. Has been more. Dave. I'm Dave.
Dave.
I feel like you are like on the edge of a breakdown, right? Just she looks like she's just like ready to fucking snap at any point. She just doesn't say anything. That makes it funnier.
Okay. I just currently have an injury on my hand that itches really badly, and I'm trying to focus on not scratching it. But I've been doing that. I've been over here rubbing it and patting it, and it's not fun.
No, that makes it worse, dude.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to be raiding Zach. If you haven't hit that follow button, Bree, hit him with that tagline.
All right, fuckers, until we see you again, keep it simple, stay weird. Bye.